So doing business decisions.
Oh, yeah, the business factory. Yeah, that's cool.
Yes.
Yeah. We all work hard at the business factory, so. What a great show. All right. So, man, we're already on session 6. I mean, the campaign's pretty much almost over now. So session 6 of Odyssey of the Dragonlords finds you guys up late at the palace, as it were, of Pythor in the city of Estoria. You are honored guests in the God King's home, and you have enjoyed a delicious godly feast of cheesy potatoes. Now you're up late formulating plans and dishing about each other's sordid pasts. It is very late, though. If you guys do intend to get anything done in the morning, you might want to kind of ease out of the conversation into some long resting, because you have traveled exceptionally long distance today, kind of pushing past the normal 8 hours of travel. Is that agreeable to everybody?
Yeah, I think we did a lot of talking and we have a good idea of what we want to do. So I think I'll start heading back to the room.
Okay.
And pull the girls with me.
Yeah, I mean it's not a huge palace, but there are essentially a few guest quarters. But you guys are forced to kind of bunk up essentially. So.
I think Talos will just take a stroll around town.
Okay. You don't want to do your Warforged recharge and prevent a point of exhaustion?
Well, you don't have to be standing still for the thing. You just have to not be doing any laborious activity.
Okay. So you're just going to walk around the city. Gotcha. All right.
Literally just seeing the sights.
Okay. Such as they are at 2 in the morning.
Do robots have dark vision?
No,
Nope.
this is a lot of make-believe happening right now for Talos. But sure, if it make you feel good, go for it. All right. As you guys settle in to your respective beds for the night, you are visited by visions. Yeah. So the visions are apparently so important that I have special words to read to you.
Each of us gets it?
Each of you has the same haunting vision as you sleep. Robot who thinks he is not affected by things that affect mortals. As you are exploring the town and the visions are delivered upon your more organic companions, you have one of those like sci-fi robo seizures where you just sort of like can't see straight and sort of crash into like debris on the side of the road and like fall over, because that's what happens. So as you guys are in either an alley somewhere having a robot seizure or fitfully trying to sleep in a strange bed in a strange place, you hear a woman's voice emanate from the darkness all around you. So, your great quest begins. Off to become heroes, are you? Mortals are so very proud. And a light shines in the dark, illuminating the sad and pathetic figure of an old man who has been hogtied to a stake. Look at this one. He's falling to pieces, joints stiff, skin slack, teeth gone. The life is practically dripping out of him. Inky black shadows fall across the old man. He flinches and squirms, panicking as something draws closer, something that you cannot see. Yes, his sad mortal life is leaking away. But I wonder what will happen to his soul. The old man thrashes against his restraints, screaming into his gag as a butcher's knife descends. And you awaken from this vision, bathed in sweat. So I need everybody to roll wisdom saving throws.
Here we go.
Will be just a moment for me. I just sat down.
Sure.
That'll get into Roll20.
Yes. So the DC was indescribably high. Each of you, I have no other way to put it. Each of you is afflicted with terrible nightmares that relate to your individual sort of path, but also just kind of hover around the fragility of the mortal condition. Over and over, you try to gain rest, you try to push these visions away, and again, that haunting female voice comes and lectures about the fragility of the mortal races, showing over and over again how easy it is to snuff out their life, how easy it is to claim what little there is inside. No one gains the benefits of a long rest, and everyone begins their first morning in Estoria with a point of exhaustion.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, and so the cockerel crows and the day begins. It is late in the morning, I assume. At least 9 or 10 a.m. I mean, that's late for adventurers. You gotta trust me on this one. Sunlight is kind of streaming in, filtered through a thick cloud bank that sort of floats in the skies above the city. Threatening rain, but no rain is due today. As always, the temperature is extremely pleasant, like 68, 70 degrees. All right. What would you like to do?
Well, Rosette awakens in her guest bed with sweat everywhere, and I guess she would turn to see how Hypatia and Anastasia are doing.
Yeah.
If-
As you turn to look at Hypatia sleeping, you find her throat slit, blood everywhere. All of the lovely snakes that you have befriended over the last couple of days, one by one, have been severed at the stump and lay dead, coiled in knots around each other around her.
Wait, what?
Okay. Her eyes widen, and she's going to reach for her shield and spear and go up to Hypatia and try to just see what happened, and also take a quick look to Anastasia to see if anything happened to her.
There is no. You look over for Anastasia, and she's just not there. Hypatia, as you are sleeping and dreaming, you are violently shaken awake. What looks like the reanimated remains of Rosette, her eyes hollow and empty, her mouth yawning, crooked teeth, and a swollen purple tongue. She looms over you, leaning in to eat you or your face. It's very confusing.
Yeah, I would definitely start awake, reel back, and I might do one of these. Like, that's possible. This little snake hair bite.
Okay. Yeah. So, Anastasia, you awaken to hear like violence in the room. You look over and you see Hypatia and her snakes attacking Rosette The snakes are biting Reset all over her face. Her beautiful Arisian face is swollen from poison. Her one eye completely swollen shut from the venom. You could see all the veins in her face and neck and arms standing out in black contrast against her pale skin.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think I'm up and at him. I'd like to thrust both my wings forward and then kind of unfurl them and kind of push them apart if I can.
Okay. They don't seem to notice you at all.
Oh.
Gentlemen, you guys, it's just the two of you, I guess, right? As you awaken?
Alexei would
I guess
probably be first awake, I think.
Okay, sure.
It would be, if once he awoken, he first would stare at the ceiling, trying to recall what just happened in his sleep. Then sit up
as
slowly.
you stare at the ceiling, walking upside down on the ceiling and looking down at you is an emaciated black dog. The dog stares at you intently. It opens its mouth, and a long, pointed tongue kind of lolls out, and then a long yo-yo of drool slowly begins making its way from its mouth down towards your face.
I blink twice. Is it still there?
It's still there, yeah.
I get up out of bed, and I'm looking at it, and I'm
Alright.
taking a step back away.
As you go to get out of bed, you cannot feel your body. You're paralyzed. The strand of drool gets closer and closer, and as it does, you feel the almost chemical sizzle of it as it hovers above your face. The dog shakes its head, and the drool lands right next to you, burning a hole in the pillow next to your head. The dog lets out a horrible sound, and you watch its face split apart, and 3 new heads grow from the shattered remains of the first one.
If I try to say anything, yell, do words come out of my mouth?
Go ahead and give me a performance check. This would be indicative of how much air you could pump out of you. Yeah, so Philippocles, you wake up, and you hear screaming. As you look over, you can see Honora, and she is pinned to the wall. Alexei is holding her above the ground and choking the life out of her. All the while, he's sort of shouting and laughing as he does, twirling that ribbon of his that he used to distract you in the battle.
I think I would bull rush Alexei. What are you doing?
All right, give me an athletics check, please.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah. Alexei, you feel the air sort of thud out of your chest as the dog leaps from the ceiling and collides with your chest, begins savaging your throat and face. So over in the ladies' room, Reset, there are snakes that were dead on the ground that are now crawling up your legs, biting at your flesh. Hypatia still lays there dead on the ground, but as you stare at her in horror, you see a dark light form behind her eyes, and you see sort of like ghostly spirits begin to swirl about her. Her skin mummifies before your eyes. She takes on a more lich-like appearance and slowly begins to sit up in that very creepy way that vampires do, like a full sit-up kind of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm horrified by all the snakes climbing up me and this Hypatia doing an Undertaker thing. Reset is going to kind of scream out and back up. I think she'd actually fall and kind of like try to scoot up next to the bed, try to get as much distance as she can from the body, and she would yell out like for anyone. So she'd yell out like Anna,
Anastasia. Yeah, Reset is crying out for help. She is like 2 feet away from you.
Yeah, I try to respond, but she.
Out on the streets, Talus, you had something go wrong last night, and you remember falling down. You remember the weird visions. When you awoke, you were no longer in Estoria. You were on a corpse-ridden battlefield. Others, like you, fought endlessly across this field of battle, piling on top of the corpses of other Warforged, using weapons far more advanced than anything you have seen in Thylea. They fight without any remorse, without any emotion. They just fight and kill each other endlessly. It doesn't seem to have a point or a purpose. It doesn't seem to make any sense. As you look about the battlefield, you see another unit. Its chest cavity crushed. The wisps of soul gifted to it from the Soul Forge when it was first crafted escape as tiny motes of light. Its eyes look about, unfocused, and even then, it tries to reach for its weapon to keep fighting. In the skies, you see great ships firing blasts of energy at each other, and one of them explodes, and you see more Warforged, at least parts of Warforged, just rain down from the skies like chunks of metallic hail. The sky is just red and black from smoke and fire. Hypatia, your snakes seem to have frightened whatever is going about in Reset's skin. The creature sort of backs away from you. Its posture very hunched over, very feral, very similar to the hag Helica that you faced down in the Shrine of the Oracle. Its head crackles as it turns nearly all the way upside down, and a long tongue lolls out across razor-sharp teeth and sort of continues to just coil out like a snake from Reset's horribly descended mouth.
Well, I would definitely, at this point, back as far into a corner as I could. I would look around for Anastasia. See if she's okay.
Yeah. You vaguely recall a person named Anastasia, but you cannot see her anywhere. More than likely, she gave up and abandoned the quest.
So, I think at this point, I would be racking my brain to see if I could think of what has happened to Reset, and if there is anything I could do to fix it. Or, alternatively, how best I could defeat her and protect myself.
Fair enough. Just go ahead and give me a straight intelligence check. And while you're doing that, Alexi, you are being savaged by this 3-headed dog. Do you accept your fate as the doomed one and die here? No?
I try to move, struggle, and fight back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So give me either an acrobatics or an athletics check to show that you're trying to fight back against this.
I'll do acrobatics. It's better.
Okay.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know how you feel.
All right. Yeah. So, Philippocles, you have managed to pull Alexi free. As you do, Honora falls to the ground, gasping for air. she looks up at you, and her eyes are full of fear. And you look down and see that in your haste, you hit Alexei so hard that he must have snapped his neck. His limp body held in your offhand. He is dead.
So I'd kind of just fall to my knees and ponder at what I've done.
All right. So, yeah, it's getting a little crazy. It's getting a little crazy. It's at that point when you all hear a very strange sound.
The song that doesn't end. Yes, it goes on and on, my friend.
Some strange song. You
Is
look
it coming
around.
from the heavens?
Yeah, you look around confused. It's so weird. Talus, as you're staring down at this Warforged who's dying before you, it opens its sound orifice, and this strange song comes out. Yeah, it's really weird. And then Reset, like, as you're sort of looking down at this animated undead beast that's rising to face you, Hypatia opens her mouth and this strange song comes out. And so it goes for each of you. And then, Anastasia, you hear Kyra's familiar voice next to you. And she says, "You're not forgotten. Sing with me. Sing and we'll bring them back to us."
Yes, she will.
Alright, give me a performance check.
Okay.
No, I want to hear you sing the song.
I mean, DM inspiration for sure, but
I don't know. I'm very. Just saying.
all right. So, even with disadvantage, even with resurrection sickness, you begin to sing the song that doesn't end. Reset and Hypatia, you look, and Anastasia's there, only mere feet away from you.
Oh no.
Kyra's there with her, but you see Kyra kind of moving towards the door and then out the hallway. Gentlemen, your door is kicked open, and you see Aunt Kyra there. She has puppets on her hands. It's a little weird. And she is singing this very upbeat, ridiculous song. And as you look, Honora is not there. There is no dog. And Philippocles and Alexei, you guys are just sort of mid-WrestleMania, like on the floor. All right. And then Kyra just kind of nods and she says, "Good morning. I thought she might try something like that. So we got to get the supplies for the stakeout, right? And breakfast."
I wake up in Philippocles, like wrestling me down.
Yeah. You guys are like like two dudes that were fighting over the dumbest thing in the world. Like you guys are just wrestling on the floor.
When Philippocles sees that Alexei isn't dead, but is instead alive and wrestling with him, he gives him a big bear hug. I thought I killed you.
I think I'm still dreaming. What the fuck?
Yeah, you reach for your bed, and Alexei, and you pull the pillow down. There is a small burn mark on the pillow.
I hug him real quick, like a couple taps on the back, like okay, yeah,
Okay.
And I come to look down at my torso area. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for not killing me. I'd say.
All right.
Just so happy you're alive.
Yeah.
Andrew, what
Um,
was that?
What's going on?
I'll explain to you guys over breakfast, Kyra says. But we gotta, we gotta start the day. You can't linger on these sorts of things. Lingering's bad.
Very well.
Yeah. Also, we should probably track down Talus, because you know why gnome-built robots always go crazy? It's the short circuits.
What's a circuit?
I don't have time to explain that one. All right, so I'll meet you. I'll meet you at the table. I had the servants stay up super late and like snow shovel all the debris off the table. So hopefully we won't catch like malaria or anything. All right. So she heads back to the ladies' room and she's like, "Okay, that's enough. Let's go. It's breakfast time."
I think Reset would be like over Hypatia in the corner and just
Yeah.
crying, like hugging her.
Okay.
And
She
Anna,
actually have a
like
bunch
she
of
would have pulled
bites on her
Anna
arm.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just like in a pile of snot and tears.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. The familiars also had terrible nightmares. So the 4 familiars are off in the corner, holding each other and sobbing as well. I don't want to describe what terrors they dealt with because I don't want another email from PETA, but it was really bad. So,
Yeah,
all right.
after a while
Poor
we'd
pig.
pick ourselves up and hug the familiars as well.
Okay.
And Kiro.
You look around, and Kyra is not there. I guess she's gone to fix breakfast. Talus, out in the streets. You kind of blink your vision receptacles, and you are back in Estoria. And that strange woman that claims to be a god sort of is holding your arm and sort of helping you stay upright. And she's sort of whistling a strange but familiar melody as she does. And she says, "Okay, I hope you had a nice time sightseeing, but we're going to go back and watch everyone eat breakfast and then plan our day. Does that sound good?
Right.
You okay?"
Okay. It was strange. It was so foreign and yet familiar.
Yeah. Don't. I probably should have warned you guys. I never know what is like allowed and not allowed, so until it's almost too late. It feels like, but I'll at least explain what happened so you could be maybe better prepared for it. So let's hasten along. It shouldn't take too long. My brother's city is super small compared to my sister's city, but don't tell him that. He's already got enough problems. So, all right. So she helps you get back to the castle, or sorry, the palace. And as you arrive back at the palace, servants are already bringing out plates of poached eggs, fruit, cheeses, and big fat slabs of fatty bacon. All right. So you guys sit together in the palace dining area. The sun fighting through the clouds to come in through the open air architecture of the place. You do not see Pythor. You do not see Princess Honora. So it is just the 7 of you plus Pokemon.
I'll go through morning maintenance with the constructs and everything.
Okay, fair enough.
Alexi silently eats, ruminating on what just happened.
Yeah, Hypatia is kind of just like staring at the food, like, and staring at everyone else and staring at the food.
Yeah, after maybe like 2 minutes of awkward silence, I think Reset's just gonna pipe up and be like, so how was your morning? And turn to Philippocles and Alexi.
I mean,
I look
the
at
best.
Philippocles.
I killed Alexi, but he's not dead. Weird dreams. Not my normal sweaty night.
Oh,
I had a monster attack me in my sleep.
I said I was sorry.
It was a dog. It was a dog. Well, do I recall it all after the fact?
Oh, yeah, you guys will actually never be able to forget the visions that were visited upon you unless you use a wish spell.
Okay.
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
What did I forget Anastasia? Because I know Hypatia sort of forgot her.
It was close. So, but you don't think you could have.
Okay. But I felt it sort of like slipping away.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was trying to be taken away from me.
A bit.
Okay. Then she's gonna, as she continues to eat, she's gonna be looking in Anastasia's direction. Try to burn that image into her mind.
Okay.
But she won't say
Anastasia,
anything.
everybody's watching you eat your breakfast.
Yeah, she'll kind of explain what happened with her visions as well. That she tried to help but couldn't. Then I heard a strange melody and I harmonized and everything got better.
Oh right, you were singing that weird song. How did it go again?
And you see Kyra lift a hand from beneath the table, and it has a strange, like, sheep puppet on it. And she says with really bad ventriloquism skills, "It's not a weird song, it's a great one, 'cause it goes on." And she kind of slowly drops it beneath the edge of the table. And you could tell that she's putting on her serious face, because she's about to drop some serious information on you guys. So you guys are familiar with the Lutheria, right?
Yes.
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 Okay. Yeah. You know, sister
She's
to
the one
Sydon, Titan, all that jazz. We pour out a little of the 40 ounce for her when we imbibe that lady.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I dedicated
Yeah.
a dance to her.
Yeah. She's also the goddess of dreams. And she's apparently not very happy with you. So that was what that was about.
So is this gonna happen every night now?
I like to think that she has other things that she has to do. And also, she's kind of lazy. So I don't think it would be like every night. But this might happen again. So the next time it happens, you just got to remember, it's only a dream. Except it's kind of not just a dream because she's the goddess of dreams. But, you know, just kind of keep that in mind.
Is there any way we could prevent it from happening?
Gosh.
Not sleep, no.
I don't know if that really matters. I don't know. I mean, obviously, eventually, you're going to march right up to her and you're going to be like, "Yo, bitch, no more bad dreams." And then she's going to be like, "Oh no, brave heroes." And then she's just not going to do it anymore. But until then, I don't really know how we could get her to stop, honestly.
Unfortunately, she seems to be able to even affect those of us who don't normally sleep.
Yeah. Anyone with a mind can dream, because, you know, daydreams are a thing. So. Yup. But hey, you know what this means? This is really good news, because if you had any doubt that you were the chosen of the Oracle and the heroes of the prophecy and destiny, I mean, you shouldn't have them anymore, right? Why would the Lady of the Titans come after you so hard, so quickly. If she wasn't worried, that's a good sign.
Rosette's just gonna look at her with these like bags under her eyes as she couldn't sleep at all, and she's just gonna say, "That's awesome. I'm
Mhm,
glad I
mhm.
was chosen."
Yeah. It just gets better from here, I'm telling you what.
Hypatia would muse something about how, but did the Oracle choosing us make us the chosen ones? Would the prophecy have happened if we didn't know about the prophecy? And so on. Very philosophical.
Okay. She kind of nods, and she's like, I like where you're going. I don't think Lutheria's that smart. So she's probably just going on gut instincts here.
So why do we pour out our drink to her?
Oh gosh, because if you didn't, it'd be so much worse.
Wait. This was what we got for dedicating a dance to her?
Yeah.
I mean, look. The gods, they have feelings. And you obviously, have hurt her feelings. And she lashed out at you. That's all. I mean, but the important thing is, none of you killed each other. Because that would have been a mess. So, let's
there
not linger on the
anything-
bad stuff. I don't
Is there
know. I
anything,
guess. What? Oh, yeah?
Is there anything we could do to like protect ourselves from them?
From the
dreams?
dreams? Oof. I'm trying to figure out a way to couch this to you that doesn't sound too meta. You must increase your wisdom. Oh, no, that does sound pretty bad. You must strengthen your mind against mind-affecting spells. And she gives you, like, a hard wink.
That means, and I look at everyone. That means every night before we sleep, we must meditate. I will show you the technique I've learned back home.
Oof, yeah, boy. You know what? And that would probably help everyone fall asleep, too. So, I'm not here to manage you. Well, I'm literally managing you, but I'm not here to manage what you do. So, what's on the agenda today? Do you need me for anything? Because I do have a dentist appointment at 2:30.
We are pretty tired, but we need to get started on helping Honora.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
I
find
guess-
that tent of yours.
I should also mention, when you walk around town, just be careful, because it's a huge wine festival going on right now.
There's a wine festival?
Yeah.
Why should we be careful?
To celebrate like the super sacrifice of Princess Honora, apparently, Lutheria sent a bunch of her like nymphs and satyrs and stuff to the city, and they're having like a huge festival leading up to the sacrifice of Princess Honora.
Oh, so this isn't a fun festival.
Oh no, it's a super fun festival. Like so much drinking, fornicating, games, prizes. There's some plays. Famous playwrights here, actually. What was this guy's name? Thasus? Something like that. He's putting on like 3 different plays, and I heard they're pretty good. So,
We have
Is there
time.
a chance we'll be attacked?
why would you be attacked during a festival?
Okay. That's all I wanted to know.
I just wanted you to be careful, because if you have too much fun, you won't get all your work done today.
Oh.
Why are you
Okay.
so paranoid, Alexi?
Yeah, you goose. It's like you think you're doomed or something.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like
Alright.
we woke up with terrible dreams or anything.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Again,
let's
don't
check out the
yeah,
festival.
Don't think about it. You just give her strength when you think about it. Don't even mind it. Just push it out of your mind.
Yeah, I could use a drink.
Yeah, and Lutheria is paying for it. So,
Yeah.
well, she's not really paying for it, but She's sponsoring it.
All right.
Let's go look for your fence and enjoy the wine festival.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. All right. So you guys head out into the city of Estoria. Let me toss you over onto that Estoria map real quick. There we go. Oh, you guys are so big. You're blocking the whole map. Oh, that's fine. You're kind of the stars of the show. So there we go. All right. Yeah. So the festival itself, where is that being held? It's kind of being held all throughout the city. The plays, however, are going to be held at the amphitheater. So if you are interested in checking out one of those plays, there's a really good one about Philippocles' dad. It's called Pythor and the Five Sisters.
Okay.
I would like to see that, as well as I would also like to see the sacrifice that takes place.
Okay. Well, you are in luck because Pythor and the Five Sisters is happening this afternoon. So you could check out the play and then just head on over to the Rock of Estor and watch them sacrifice something to basilisks.
That sounds like
Yeah.
a good day.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty full day. All right.
That sounds like a good idea.
So fences in the marketplace. We'll check there. Check out any wine stands there as we head to the amphitheater.
Okay.
And then we continue to the rock.
All right. The pleasant silence of the morning is broken just a bit by just this long, wet fart. It sort of echoes and reverberates off the marble columns and walls of the palace. So mighty was this morning fart that you feel that no mortal could have made it. You hear lumbering
We don't.
footsteps.
Oh.
What? Oh, what?
No. Go ahead.
Are you going to try to jump out the window and escape? You hear lumbering footsteps, barefoot, on the marble tile, making its way into the dining room. Pythor looks around. Oh! You're still here!
We were just leaving.
Oh, my boy! My boy! And he kind of puts his arms wide, and in doing so, his robe comes undone, and just everything's on display. A lot of hair. There's a lot of godhood. He just starts lumbering towards you, Philippocles.
Yeah, Hypatia would just kind of collapse on the table,
Okay.
like head desk.
You are a snake expert, but Pythor, more like Python, am I right? He comes charging towards Philippocles to crush him in a hug. Do you accept the hug from your father?
Yeah, reluctantly.
All right. He says, boy, I'll admit, I was eavesdropping a little bit. I hear you're going to see a play. I'd really like to go with you. You know, catch up. We could catch up on old times.
Though that sounds like an honor, Father, plan on, doing what we can, for Nora this afternoon.
So you're not going to a play?
We're gonna stop by it, yes.
Oh, I could just meet you there. I'll make sure we have good seats.
That sounds excellent, Father. We'll see you there.
Oh, all right. And he just pulls you into another crushing hug. And he just says, oh, my boy. We have to enjoy this time that we have together before she comes for you.
Alexi face palms.
And then he sits down on the chair and he just starts shoveling food into his gob.
Well, we'll see you there, Father. We're gonna head out and take in your marvelous city.
Yeah, there's some kind of festival for some reason.
Yeah, that's what.
Do you
Auntie
need
told
pocket
us.
money?
I mean, I think I'm all right. I wouldn't want to
Are you
impede.
sure? Because I mean, I wasn't there for you, and I feel bad, and maybe this will make my guilt not feel as bad if I give you some spending money for the festival. You can have a nice day at the festival.
We've earned some money. I think we're
Sir,
we're all
I
right.
think he's too polite to take your money. He's a bit shy. Meeting
Please.
you.
The money, but
Please
not his
don't.
company.
Let's.
So he looks over at you, and he takes his light blocking goggles, and he tips them down on his bright red nose, all the blood vessels having burst from too much alcohol, and he gives you a drunken smile. Oh, I don't think I remember you, because I wouldn't forget.
She completely avoids eye contact, gives a very, very nervous smile, says, yeah, I was here.
That can't be possible. I definitely would have remembered a beautiful air nymph such as yourself gracing my palace with her presence.
I'm human, but
Are you married?
To
Father,
me,
we must
Alexi
be going.
steps forward. Yes.
We must be going. Father.
I'm sorry, little man. Oh, okay. He looks past Alexi and he gives a wink to Reset, and he says, "We'll continue this conversation later." So, all right, I'm gonna go secure us some tickets.
We'll see you there, Father.
All right. He takes the plate of bacon and he waddles out of the room.
I'll try to shield little guy's eyes from bacon.
Nice save,
All right.
Alexi.
Yeah.
thank you.
Do you not remember, Tellus? He's destined to be big. Now, let's get the hell out of here.
All right. Well, you kids have a great time. And I will meet you. Where do you want to meet? After the play? Do you want to get some dinner after the play, or do you want to? You probably need some time away from the grown-ups. So how about I just meet you at I don't know, sunset near the Rock of Esther?
That sounds
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, that way I could check in on all my Kyras and get my 10% and all that jazz.
You get that teeth
Sounds good.
checked.
All right.
See you then.
All right. Okay. What's the plan, folks?
I guess.
Let's get out of here. I can still smell. I can still smell the.
I feel like there's like a musk that hangs around Pythor.
Pythor does smell like an 8-day-old nutsack. He does have that sort of smell about him. So
All
Oh,
the beer and the
no.
cheese.
yeah.
The beer, the cheese, and the grease.
Yeah. All right. So you guys head out into the city and you just take in. It's only like 4-mile-per-hour winds today, but it feels like a hurricane of fresh air as you exit the palace, and you just take it all in. Okay. So, truth be told, you guys did arrive very late last night. Most of the festivities had sort of died down. Today, they are in full swing, and you can see that they are still hanging pennants and ribbons and streamers. And you notice that mixed in to the mostly human, elven, dwarven culture, you see a lot more fey-like creatures than you saw yesterday. So there are nymphs, and there are a few centaurs here and there. You even spot one or two like cyclops kind of making their way through the crowds. So it's minotaurs. The spectrum. The spectrum is definitely being represented. You look to the skies, Anastasia, and you do see that there are a few sirens and harpies sort of making their way, avoiding the crowded streets, making their way through the skies of the city. All right. So, if your intention is just to get day drunk, it would be a very easy thing to do. There are wine vendors like on every street corner. And if you buy the souvenir drinking horn, the refills are extremely cheap. Okay, yeah. Okay, fair enough. All right. So you kind of begin making your way through the city, exploring the sights and the sounds. Most of the city is built of white and tan marble with beautiful red brick tile roofs. So it has a very nice, clean look to it. Despite the condition of its leader, the city itself is in pretty good shape. You do notice here and there that there are some rock falls, there are some damaged buildings and structures from the recent earthquake, but civic servants and slaves are kind of cleaning that stuff up and keeping it from impeding like foot traffic on the roads and stuff.
As we are making our way down the street, I like to keep my eye out for any food vendors or game stalls that might be happening.
Yeah, totally. So there's a number of places where you can test your skill, and there are people that are playing a very popular game. I believe it's called 20 Squares, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, a game of 20 Squares. That is sort of the Gwent of Thylea. Rumored to be one of the favored games of the gods themselves.
Uh-oh. Side quest time. Okay.
Oh,
But yeah, there's like archery booth. There's like basically reflex games where you can can you move your hand before it gets slapped kind of thing. Test of skill of like throwing, feats of strength. Can you lift this elephant? That kind of stuff.
Oh. Which
Yeah.
one has the biggest crowd around it?
Oh, the biggest crowd? The biggest crowd, unfortunately, does seem to be a makeshift dunking booth. They have a dunking booth set up where you can dunk basically an incredibly obese man who you think is supposed to represent Pythor. It seems openly disrespectful. The booth is run by some very gorgeous nymphs, both male and female, and their lilting laughter kind of puts the citizens at ease that this is okay because it's a festival kind of thing.
Yeah, I think after the morning interaction, Reset might actually look at that smile and go up to it and be like, "Oh, this looks like fun."
All right. Yeah. It's one of those step right up situations. Like the price to play these games is negligible, so we're not going to fuss over, small change essentially. More like the people are competing in these events simply to prove that they can do it, less to win like stuffed prizes and things like that. So as you kind of sidle up to the booth, you see Fat Pythor, or Mall Pythor, because it's like, not the real Pythor, just in there, just kind of grabbing his man titties and flopping them around and just kind of singing drinking songs. He sees you step up and he says, "Oh, I'm a king, and I can see from here that twig of a woman ain't gonna be able to sink this battleship." And the crowd kind of chuckles nervously at the sentiments.
What do I do?
Yeah, so the lovely nymph who's running the booth, gorgeous, beyond, I guess, comprehension by mortals. But she just kind of smiles broadly at you, and she says, you just take these weighted leather balls, and you throw them at that target over there. And if you can hit the target as a bullseye, you will sink the great king beneath the waves, like the once mighty Ultros of legend.
All right. How many balls do I get? 3?
Yep, she hands you 3 balls for money.
All right. Yeah, I give her like a couple coppers for it.
Sure.
Okay.
Drachma, what was Lipton? What's it called?
Well, yeah, I don't. What's the coppers called?
They don't fuck around with copper. So you've got drachma,
right.
and you got lepta. So
Okay, I give like one.
maybe like a couple of lepta to play. I mean, honestly, again, I not nickel and dime in this campaign. So
Okay. So I'm going to step up to the line, and so would this be a ranged attack?
yes, these are thrown weapons.
Sweet. So with 3 balls, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw 1, and then I'm going to flurry of blows. So I throw all 3 like super fast.
Oh, nice. Okay. Fair enough. This is a pretty easy game. A bullseye can be achieved quite easily. You just need a 15 or higher. Keeping in mind that a commoner has a +0 to everything. So they kind of build these games around commoners.
I hit 2 of them.
Oh, all right. Yeah, so both. Yeah, sorry. Wow, you hit one of them critically. You hit all 2 of them hit, and the third one misses because you've already hit the bullseye and knocked it out of the way with the first 2 balls. All at once, you hear a loud gong sound, and Fat Pythor is dropped into the wooden tub, and a huge cannonball of water goes everywhere, much to the amusement of the gathered crowd.
Yes.
They ask for your drinking horn, and they refill it for free for your efforts. And the nymph, she motions to all the nymphs assembled, and she says, "A kiss to the victor."
Sure.
Okay. And the nymphs descend upon you with friendly kisses, and you are encouraged to pour out a small libation to Lutheria and drink and celebrate, because the Titans are good and wise and kind.
Yeah, she'll follow the whatever it is that they want.
Sure.
I think the closeness of the nymphs is gonna make her feel somewhat warm, like a sort of a familiar sensation, but she doesn't know exactly what it is.
All right. So the rest of you, do you kind of watch and cheer on your ally, or do you have other things that you are interested in?
I feel like Hypatia would be wandering around looking for weird things, oddities, like some weird spell components, or some books, or like a library, or just something that like she hasn't seen before and she can investigate further.
Okay, sounds good.
And definitely it's like she needs a leash.
Mm-hmm.
So may or may not stay with the others, depending on what catches her eye.
All right. As you sort of explore, you do come across a very enticing shop. The shop shows a magic lamp on it, on the sign, and the lamp has 3 diamonds shining on it. And the diamonds themselves actually do shine as if enchanted with their own light spell. The sign reads in the common tongue of Thylea, the third wish. It is a medium-sized shop of stone that is abundant with plants and flowers. It is absolutely beautiful and immaculately kept. You can smell the magical incense that is used to summon familiars wafting from within.
Ooh. Well, I would definitely go in and explore, kind of take stock of all the things they might have, pick up any materials that I would be short on, and of course be on the lookout for anything especially special.
Okay. You have discovered the magic shop of Estoria. So I will pin that to the Discord channel, treasure channel.
Okay.
All right. As you go in, you do see that the shop is run by a centaur wizard.
Well,
Yeah.
I would greet. Well, actually, you know what? I probably wouldn't greet her. I'd probably just immediately start looking at things and touching things.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Your hackles / snakes might rise a little bit because a mephit does approach you. The mephit is of the steam variety. And you remember, maybe not fondly, your last encounter with steam mephits. This one approaches you and says,
Excuse me, ma'am. Can I help you with anything today?
I'd jump away at first, and then as it seems to be a little friendly, I'd cautiously look closer, and look closer, like inappropriately close, like definitely staring.
Okay.
And,
it kind of looks down at itself, confused.
like,
I'm naked. Is that all right?
What? Oh,
Is that what you're worried about?
no, how does it... at this point, I would look around, and seeing the proprietor of the shop,
Yeah, she waves at you.
I would say, is it friendly? How does it work? How do you control it? Like super looking around. Like trying to find an off button.
Yeah, no, she kind of motions at the mephit, and it goes to assist other customers. And then she approaches you herself, and she's taller than you, because centaur. And you realize now that maybe that's why the interior of the shop has such high ceilings and is so open and everything. As she approaches you, she has a warm smile on her face, and she takes in your general measure. Have you made any attempt to hide your wizrobe nature?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Definitely hiding the Medusa nature, but not the wizard nature.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. She introduces herself to you as Parthala, and explains that this is her shop. She kind of motions to the beautiful, indoor gardens that are just sort of mixed in with shelves and I don't know, display cases, I suppose, for the more expensive stuff. And you do see that there are a number of small elementals and fey creatures that sort of work in the shop, keep it clean and keep it organized. She looks at your accoutrements and she says, a fellow practitioner of the arts.
Oh yes, yes. Although I haven't spent much time at large in the kingdoms. This is such a fantastic little shop you have. I've spent all my time at the academy, and it's very different there. It's very, well, it's less exuberant, I guess.
Ah,
The
well,
flowers are lovely.
thank you. I couldn't bear to leave all of the Fae behind, so even though my heart cried out for the arcane, once I had the means, I brought as many plants and animals and creatures as I could from the old wood to live here with me in my shop.
Well, it's very nice. It's very different.
If you are a practicing wizard, I do have a number of spell scrolls in stock. If you're looking to expand your collection, here I can show you.
I would eagerly follow her over.
All right. So you're gonna check out what she has available. She also does special orders. She is the magic item broker for the city. So if there are magic items that you are looking for, this is the lady that can hook you up with that stuff.
Okay.
All right. So while Hypatia is doing that, what are other people up to? Were you gonna find Linus? Was that the plan?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do for sure.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone would come with me, but
Yeah,
I would
Phil-
definitely go and seek that out.
Phil's just gonna stick with Alexei. Not really
Okay.
interested in the festival at all. It's actually kind of bringing down his spirits. He's just gonna kind of like mope around and follow Alexei.
Okay, fair enough.
It's got you down.
I mean, this is a festival to celebrate the sacrifice of my sister. The man I've looked up to and forward to meeting my whole life is a drunken mess.
Alexei mentally facepalms himself.
I
just asked that.
I accidentally murdered you this morning, and I had terrible nightmares. And
Don't let him touch any cheesy potatoes.
He winces.
It's a gateway drug for sure.
Alexei tries to stifle himself wincing at every bullet point that Philippocles mentions. I see. Well, we are going to see if we can remedy some of those, aren't we?
Yeah, let's go meet this man of yours.
Well,
All right. So you follow the slightly vague instructions that you were given, and you go to the cracked bowl. You say the secret words, and a man comes out of the back room, and he looks at you appraisingly. Who exactly are you that you know the value of a hippogriff?
I will introduce myself as Alexei. I'm actually a little confused because I thought that he may have heard of us, the Chosen. So I guess I'll sort of mention that I received contact of him through a bandit who left their ways.
Oh, I have heard
I
the
won't.
tales already of who you are. I asked, who did you think you are?
I
Or
think
did
I'm
I?
someone. Oh.
Hmm.
I think I'm someone who can come in here and maybe see what you have to offer.
All right, then. He begins to speak with you in thieves' cants about the weather, fishing conditions in the river, the price of shoeing a centaur on a Thursday. You know, that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
In that conversation, he does explain to you his rates. It's a very busy time in the city, but he can accommodate the chosen of the Oracle. He likes the idea of starting a fruitful business partnership with you and your allies, and hopes that he can assist you as time goes on. with any needs you have to get rid of illicit goods or acquire them. He also wants to know if you have any drug or alcohol addictions he could help you with, because he knows people.
Help us enable them, you mean?
Well, I mean, this is a businessman just trying to do business.
Yeah. I mean,
At the business factory. Yep.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
But essentially, the rates that we had already discussed, that because of the nature of the goods, like he can give you, for goods that would get you in trouble to sell normally, he will purchase at 25% of the listed cost.
Gotcha.
Rather than a upstanding merchant who would purchase it for 50% of the cost. But he also can serve as a vendor for poisons and other illegal goods like that.
What sort of poisons are we talking about?
Wow, at your current level, I will certainly, I would certainly say the cheap stuff.
Okay,
sure.
not a poison of God killing. Gotcha.
Oh, yeah. I mean, not even like wyvern poison. Like we're talking like the real cheap stuff.
Okay.
But if you were interested, like for example, at your level, you might use him to purchase a poisoner's toolkit. Might be a good start. Kind of deal. Yeah.
So you're saying the eventual goal
I'll do
is
that.
something like Heinz blood?
I mean, this could be your guy. This could be your guy if you level him up, basically.
Yeah. How much could I get a poisoner's kit at for?
I believe a poisoner's kit runs, I want to say 50 gold.
Done.
All right. And you can use a poisoner's kit to gather poison from defeated enemies using the harvesting rules.
Yeah. Done. Absolutely.
All right. Sweet. This guy also sells thieves' tools, replacement thieves' tools, all that jazz. He even sells rigged games of 20 squares. So if you are looking to cheat at a game of 20 squares, this is where you could get. And also rigged dice. You know, just basically bad kid stuff. This is your bad kid stuff dealer.
Yeah. Not so much for the dice, poisoner, or any of the game stuff, but I would ask him if he has any contacts who might be able to get information, or if he himself would be able to give information, specifically about the basilisks.
You want to know about the basilisks? I could get this information for you. How much time do you need? Or how much time do I have?
If I recall, it's 9 days, you said?
I mean, it's going to happen in 9 days, yeah.
Yeah.
But they generally feed these basilisks something at that rock every night.
Yeah. Ideally, within 7-8 days, I would need it. I'm willing to pay for the information.
Is this one of those, the faster the information, the more money I can ask for?
Well, how much, if I were to like gauge what kind of payment this guy would be looking for, what are we talking?
For something like a basilisk, you could probably assume that like easy to find out information, you'd give him like 5 gold tops. More uncommon knowledge might go into like the 15 to 25 zone. Like rare and unusual knowledge might cost you 50 gold and up, or drachmae and up. And then if he were able to drop some amazing thing like, if a basilisk smells a rose petal in spring when there's still snow on the ground, it dies instantly. I mean, that's pretty valuable information.
I'm offering 100 gold.
Oh,
if you
wow.
can get me all of the above and where the basilisks near here live.
All right. He nods at you sagely and
The
says,
sooner, extra 20 gold if it's within 5 days.
"Oh, it will be. Do not worry."
I have
You
a
can spend all
question.
our
So,
gold
how
on
much
this.
sound? So does it sound
How much
like
money?
they're just talking about the weather, like this whole time, or like have they broken the can? Because I am. There.
Generally, thieves don't like to break thieves' can if they don't have to. He just assumes that you're like, hired muscle. Well, I mean, he knows who you are, but he assumes that, based on the fact that this guy whooped your ass in that fight that one time, that you're like, his bodyguard now.
Because I have some hag blood and hag hair I need to sell, and I don't know. This is the guy.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I would offer to see if that's something. Well, no, probably not him. Probably not him. No. Yeah, no,
Okay.
we wouldn't sell it to this guy.
That would probably be more like a magic shop type
Yeah.
deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not something that we need to contraband sell.
All right, but you guys are establishing this contact over here. Talus, are you up to anything in particular during this festival?
Talus will be looking for some armor, possibly.
Okay, yeah, there's plenty of places to purchase equipment. This is a big city, so anything that is like basic equipment from the player's handbook is available here, including elephants. That's the first time I've ever got to say that.
Nice.
Yeah. I even have an elephant ready to go if anybody buys an elephant. I don't suggest you do, but I was so excited.
That cost?
I think the player's handbook listed a couple of $100 gold, right, for an elephant.
Gotcha, yeah, probably. Yeah, I remember seeing that somewhere.
Look at how cute! Oh my god.
That's
All
a
right.
grown elephant.
Yeah. Yeah, they wouldn't
No
sell you a
baby elephants?
You want a baby elephant?
I mean, I want my Pokemon.
Well, yeah, we need like 2 more.
Yeah.
So you're trying to buy like a baby heffalump sort of thing? Because
Maybe.
I'll
I
put
mean,
that
not anymore. I'm already using all my gold on something.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
But I don't pay him up
Dumbo.
front, right? Or half up front or anything like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you paid him some money, but he knows that you're gilded, essentially, right? Because you're, honor among thieves. Plus, they know exactly who you are.
True.
You have no anonymity in this campaign.
True.
Yeah. And essentially, as heroes of the land, like if you made a deal with this guy and you went back on it, you didn't make an oath to pay him, but it would look super bad on you and everybody else. So
Yeah. Fair.
so the guy's confident that you'll pay him when he brings you the information.
Fair. Okay.
Talus also wanted to keep an eye out for any Amazons he recognized. Or...
Oh yeah. There's definitely Amazons in town, because they like to travel. Often, an Amazon will find an adorable blonde bard to travel with, and then they'll go on incredible adventures together. Yeah.
See if I recognize any.
They call it
see
the
somebody walking around
path
Steam
of the Xena-ing. It's like a coming of age ritual amongst their people. So you would be surprised just how many blonde bards there are. But they do sell hair dye, so not all bards are blonde, but it's kind of the trend. So
Figure, see if I recognize any Stim Fae or anything like that. As
oh
kind of a
yeah.
dead giveaway.
So let's see. Yeah, you kind of keep your eyes in the sky, looking around to see if there's any other Stim Fae or Amazons in the area. I would say eventually you would probably catch sight of some Amazons. Let's see. So yeah, there's a few Amazons kind of taking in the sights of the city. Just sort of explaining to each other, so this is the world of men, etc., etc., etc. They point at Fat Pythor in the dunking booth and all shake their heads like, this is what straight people get into, kind of deal. So they look over at you and they see you, they kind of take your measure, and there is a look of recognition. Their faces sort of brighten, and the 3 Amazons rush up to greet you, and the 3 Stim Fae that were flying about kind of come to land on shoulders and arms to meet with your Stim Fae, and you guys kind of catch up a little bit.
You just try to see what they've been up to, see if there's been interesting new creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Around
Yeah, so these 3 sort of left around the same time that you did. So they're actually very happy for you because they've already heard the story. There was some crappy bard by the name of Kyra singing a terrible song about how you chopped a guy's head off with your chakram and that made them very proud because that's like signature weapon kind of deal. So they want you to sort of retell the tale in your own words of how it went on, and they walk and talk with you for a while.
And I'll introduce them to the little boar and.
Yeah, I mean they're all about it. They're all about it. So they see this Chiros, the piglet of legend, just like in the story, and it's like they're meeting a celebrity. They take turns holding him and passing him around, and it's like a very pampered pug puppy. He's just enjoying every moment of it. They're feeding him like whatever fair food they can get their hands on, like he's a tiny garbage disposal. It's amazing.
Pigs are tiny garbage disposals. That is a fact.
Fair.
So then the only other question essentially is trying to get any lay of any beasts they know in the area, especially any mentions of basilisks, knowing that I might have to go up against one.
Oh, I mean, if you just want to ask them what they know about basilisks, they could.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they probably just do their own little check real quick. Let's see.
See if any of them had encountered any in their travels.
Between the three of them, they know the following. The basilisks of Thylea are large creatures. They are semi-aquatic, liking damp, cavernous layers, and they always stay near bodies of water, like rivers, ponds, and lakes. There are coastal varieties, and they are often found on islands because these things are so tough and indomitable that they will sort of get lost while swimming and just swim to a new island and just be like, I guess I live here now. That being said, they're not overly bright. They're little more than beasts, despite being monstrosities. They do have the ability to deliver a powerful venomous bite and also turn their prey to stone. Their saliva can turn stone that was flesh back into flesh so that they can eat it. So that's the information that they kind of drop on you.
Okay.
And then they kind of joke with you and say, do you think that you will be okay since you are not made of flesh?
It'll be an interesting experience.
We will wait to hear more songs of your great deeds. You continue to make us proud.
Thank you. I wish you well in your travels, sisters.
Okay. Anyone else? Anastasia, did you have anything you wanted to do at the festival?
Probably not at the festival specifically. I did want to deliver the package that I had gotten from.
Oh yeah, totally. All right, so you make the final delivery of Atala's package, and the person who receives it, kind of COD style, pays you for your efforts. So you do get 2 whole drachmae for your delivery.
Nice.
And you can tell that they're like appraising you really hard as they take the package from you and sort of look you over. Is it true? Are you truly the one who killed the great boar by summoning down the god's fire?
I suppose. I don't really remember what happened after that.
People in the shop all begin to kind of turn, and they kind of whisper amongst themselves and sort of point in your general direction. So you don't remember defeating the boar, the great boar of legend?
Happened very fast.
All right. Yeah, they seem a little.
I should probably head up out of there.
They seem a little disappointed. Like they were expecting, like, I don't know, more. You know what I mean? And one of the people like in the shop kind of pipes up. Can you tell us what happened?
Yeah.
I mean, we've heard the song and the story, but to hear it firsthand would be a real treat.
Okay. Yeah, I think she'll if they we're like, is this like in the middle of the street? Is this like in a
No, you delivered it to a shop. It is sort of a fancy pottery shop type thing, and there are people sort of making their way to and from, browsing, that sort of thing. But yeah, once the whispering and murmuring starts up, that this siren like basically one-shotted the boar of legend. People are kind of gathering around.
well, so this is what she'll do. She'll find a chair. She'll pull out her lute and just with like a soft or not a lute, sorry, my lyre. And she'll recount what she remembers.
Okay.
Up to the point.
So
yeah.
Go ahead and give me a performance check. Okay, yeah. Even with death curse penalties and exhaustion, you dig deep and kind of summon the fortitude that is necessary to put on a very good performance. When you're done with the tale, the patrons of the establishment are very, very happy. And because you so entertained and made her customers happy, the shopkeeper basically forces upon you a small, basically like drinking flask made of like fine porcelain.
Thank you. And then she...
If anyone asks where you got it, you know what to tell them.
What do I tell them?
I suppose you would tell them that you got it from Petarius's pots.
Okay, excellent. I didn't remember the name or
Your favorite pottery shop in Estoria.
ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I assume that your individual activities sort of burn through the day, and as the time for the play comes, are you gonna leave Daddy Pythor hanging, or are you guys actually gonna go to the play?
I was gonna go.
Okay.
I am 100% not going.
Wow.
Yeah, like if there is a local library, I'm definitely going there.
Well, I mean, Astoria is not, not the city of nerds, but no. I would assume that there's got to be some place for nerds to go. It's definitely not Mitros, but this. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. You could probably find a nice quiet cafe to read at, or a bookstore. There's got to be at least a bookstore. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
See. All right. Fair enough. They have pub quiz. You're pretty smart. You want to spend the afternoon doing a pub quiz?
Sure.
Okay. I'm trying to think of what a city of jocks would have for an intellectual to do. Pub quiz seems like the best bet there. So.
Well, primarily what I would do is look for books on basilisks.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So we'll check on your investigate after we get done with this crazy combat. I mean, this play that we're all going to go to. So let me drag you guys over to the Estoria Amphitheater.
Like, I feel like this play, like, Hypatia's probably already seen it, so. and she would probably, like, snootily let everyone know that she's already seen it, and probably with the original cast.
Well, wow, that sounds like some Hamilton stuff right there. So, whoever is attending this, go ahead and drag your minis out and, join the festivities here. I have learned my lesson after filling an opera house with the correct number of tokens that was a bad idea. So there is a smattering of tokens here that can represent that there are many crowds here. But it's not good to put like 500 tokens into Roll20. So
wherever Pythor is sitting, I need to be as far, far.
All right. So there's this beautiful woman. She definitely looks like she just stole Pythor's money, and was captured on camera for her miniature. She is looking around actively, and she sees Philippocles, and she gives Pythor a hearty shake, and she says, "Oh, there he is! There he is!" And Pythor stands up. He has changed into his recreational toga, and he actually looks like he cleaned up a little bit. And he looks over, and his face just cracks to a huge smile. He has like a whalebone sized drinking horn, and in each hand, so he can't like clasp you on the back, but he does awkwardly throw his arms around you and give you a hug, and he says, "There you are, boy. I got us great seats. I didn't want to sit too far up front because, you can't see as well. This is a good spot.
Excellent. Looks good. And I'll just take a seat wherever he motions to. And I would just pull Alexei close, like, you're in this with me. Like.
All right.
And he says, Fanny here's been helping me keep a lookout. And she kind of says, Phasma. And he's just like, whatever. But now you're here. Look at this. I have a picnic blanket laid out, so that you don't have to sit on the hard stone. And you do look around. The place is kind of damaged a little bit. Which more than likely is a result of the recent earthquake that happened. Up on the stage, you see a very extravagant man sort of going about the business of preparing the stage for the performance. Reset, it looks like you strategically placed yourself in a place where Pythor can't see you. Is that a mistake, or do you not know where Pythor is? He's over here. If you want
yeah. I specifically want to sit here.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Those of you who are not in attendance, can you see what's going on, or?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Gosh, Anastasia, are you not coming to the theater?
I don't know.
Well, you got to make a decision now.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm just wandering around.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so Pythor makes small talk with you. Wants to know if you ate lunch, if you had anything good to eat, if there were any cheesy potatoes, because he couldn't find any cheesy potato vendors on his way over. Apparently, there's a shortage of cheesy potatoes in Estoria right now. Gods only know why. And
them all.
Yes, he did. Yeah, so he's just sort of making small talk with everyone. All right. You see that despite being a king and a god, he has not demanded a special seat. He is sitting in the same audience area as everybody else. And the other people of the city, a lot of them, I'll be honest, I don't think they recognize him. And those that do don't seem all that interested in talking to him.
Not surprised.
All right. And so,
I'll ask him if he wants to hold the Piglet of Legend.
he kind of like awkwardly tries to find a place to set his drinks down, and just sort of hands them to Fanny, and then he takes the pig and the pig just starts burying itself into his beard to eat all the everything that is in there. Yeah, it's just it's like a little vacuum cleaner. It's just a beard vacuum, just going to town in there.
We'll have him looking good as new in no time.
Beautiful.
So please send your nod of thanks.
All right. Eventually, a loud, ominous horn is blown, and everyone's attention is drawn to the stage. The man steps forward, and he looks out at the crowd, and he says, "Behold, mortals, a tale of hubris. You are about to witness true history told through theater, endorsed by none other than Lutheria herself." And as he says the words, many people tip just a little bit of their beverage out. He kind of messes with his golden stash, which is just like gold dust mixed into his mustache. And he kind of curls the stash a little bit to make sure that it's looking extra fine. And he says, "I felt that this play in particular would be the best way to start our celebration. Our 10 days of celebration for the Titans and their great wisdom and kindness. Lo, you will learn today the true face of your God King. For I, Tassos, am proud to present one of my greatest works of true historical drama, Pythor and the Five Sisters." And he sort of dips his head and then slowly backs away. You see that he is using a wand of thaumaturgy to make sure that his voice can be heard far and wide. Or it's just a wand and he has thaumaturgy because he's a priest. Who knows? So, out of the backstage area, which is kind of dope because it's built into like a rocky hillside, you see a tiny halfling come out. The halfling seems to be dressed like Pythor. The halfling comes waddling to the middle of the stage and holding a similar stick to its throat. It says,
Behold, peasants, it is I, the God King Pythor of warriors.
It's one of those plays where they replace everybody with little people.
And he flexes.
There's no battle that I could lose, for I am a god, and so great and powerful.
And he starts kind of kissing his own muscles. Philippocles, you kind of look past Fanny to your father to gauge his reaction, and he's laughing his ass off. He's just stuffing fried olive nuggets into his mouth and drinking from his whalebone and just having a great time. So, okay.
Yeah, I'll be trying to gauge his reaction the whole time.
Yeah. He says, of the five gods, I am by far the manliest and the strongest. As I have said, there is no foe that can defeat me in battle. From the cavernous entrance to the backstage area, you hear a loud, ominous roar. If you didn't know any better, you would say they have a real dragon back there. Mini Pythor, he reaches for his weapons. In this instance, he has an oversized hammer. The hammer is comically 3 sizes larger than him. And he kind of pulls it out, almost seemingly out of nowhere. The weight of it makes him fall over. He struggles to pick it back up as an ominous cloud of green smoke comes out of the cavern entrance, and then you see a mighty green dragon walk onto the stage.
That's great.
Mini Pythor fights to his feet, and he says,
Oh, a fearsome dragon! Well, you face an immortal god, dragon. Nothing you do can save you now.
And he kind of raises his hammer high and starts teetering back and forth under the unbalanced weight of it. The dragon opens its mouth, and you see all this like purple and green clouds kind of come out, and they kind of waft over Pythor, and he's like,
Nothing can hurt me. I am invincible.
And the crowd kind of chuckles and claps and things like that. Then the dragon lowers its head and rushes him and headbutts him. He kind of does like a tumbling roll and then pops back onto his feet with like a little somersault and says,
Ha ha! Like I said, I am a god of war. A fell beast such as yourself could never defeat me.
Then the dragon, almost comically and exaggeratedly, raises a hand in a thinking gesture, kind of like sits down and does like a thinking pose, and then raises a claw as if it has an idea. The dragon turns around and shakes its butt at Pythor in a seductive manner. Pythor drops to his knees. His hammer falls from his hands. The dragon continues to shake its tail rhythmically, and you see Mini Pythor kind of crawl across the stage. He grabs the tail, and then he begins humping it like a tiny chihuahua. There is a lot of laughter. You look over at your father, and he's kind of wiping a tear away from his eyes. Like, it's pretty good stuff. It's pretty good stuff. The dragon picks him up and carries him back into the cavern, and you see pink smoke kind of billow out, and you hear like happy chimes, and then you hear saucy sounds as if there's some interspecies lovemaking going on. All right. The Tassos fellow comes out and says,
And then time passed.
and he sort of walks to the other side of the stage. And you see Pythor kind of come out, and he looks like tired, haggard, and he keeps looking back at the cave. He looks around and he says,
I'm the god of battle, but I lost the ultimate battle, the battle of the heart. I'm a prisoner here, my heart shackled. I must find a way to free myself. Perhaps if I gave myself 5 great challenges, each more daring than the last, then I could win my heart's freedom.
There is a roaring sound from the cave, and Pythor kind of jumps exaggeratedly and rushes off the stage. Stage left. I guess the stage right, if you're facing it. I don't know. So, then a woman comes out. The woman is quite lovely. And Pythor comes sauntering up to her. And I'll spare you, but basically he pulls like a full-on Ron Jeremy, and he smooths her, smooths things over, and talks mad game. And the next thing you know, they are rigorously having exaggerated sex at the middle of the stage. They're not actually having sex; they're professionals. But it's pretty fun. However, mid-coitus, the dragon, with a mighty roar and a bellow of smoke, comes rushing out of the cave punches the woman in the back of the head, donkey punch style, throws her over its shoulder, and then runs away. Pythor falls to his knees and begins to beat his tiny fists against the ground. I am bested again! And this plays out over and over again. Each woman that he meets, he falls in love with. They fall in love with him. But ultimately, the dragon comes out, beats the woman up, and runs away with the woman, leaving Pythor more and more sad as time goes on. Eventually, Pythor has an idea.
Yeah, I have an idea. What if I just had relations with, I don't know, less attractive women? Then my sweet wife wouldn't be so upset with me.
So, you know, he goes for less attractive ladies. Same results. He then decides, what if I tried older ladies, maybe? And does the deed. Alas, it didn't matter. The dragon took each and every one. Finally, oh, yeah, there was the other one. Finally, he confronted the dragon. And he said,
Hexia, why do you do this to me? True, at one time, I felt great love for you, but now I must move on. I am a god of mortal men, and you, a hideous beast. You must let me live my life. What we shared was unnatural, and it's over.
The dragon turns to the crowd. The crowd holds their breath. The dragon breathes poisonous gas all over Mini Pythor. She punches him. She kicks him. She picks him up. She throws him against this pillar. It looks like it hurt. He bounces off. He lands on the ground. And she rushes away. Mini Pythor watches her go. And he says, in a low whisper, but audible because of thaumaturgy, Hexia. You look over, and Pythor is not laughing anymore. Pythor has crushed his whalebone drinking horn to pulp and has discarded the rest of his basket of fried olive nuggets. He stands, his jaw set firmly, and you see him reaching for weapons that he did not bring as he stares down at the stage. You can see the priest Tassos kind of move into the stage as the actor kind of goes, and he says sort of the closing credits here of like, and so ends a tragic tale of love and loss and foolish choices. Know, mortals, that even your gods are not immune to the dangers that lie within your hearts. And he kind of takes a bow, and as he does, you just see a spark, Philippocles, of what was your father, kind of like in the eyes behind the light shielding goggles on your father's face. And you just see the muscles beneath the thick slabs of fat just clenched up in a fury. People cheer. They throw, flowers and streamers and bread. Some throw lepta. A few throw drachmae. and they all sort of discuss the amazing special effects and, can you believe those plot twists and all that kind of stuff as they sort of head out.
Seeing how upset it's made, Python, can I pick up a rock and throw it at the priest?
Woof. I mean, it's Dungeons and Dragons. You can certainly do whatever
That's
you
what I would
like.
like to.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I would try to stop him.
Yeah.
Don't do that. That's...
All right. Your allies, humans from human lands, natives to this place, they kind of grab you, like as if to say, we don't do that here, sort of thing.
No.
Yeah. And Pythor looks over at you, and he says, Dallas, I appreciate the sentiment, but these are trying times. These are guests in our city. And technically, nothing that was said today was untrue.
That's heavy.
I'm sorry, son. I'm gonna need to take a walk.
And he just sort of like shoulders Fanny out of the way, and at the same time grabs his money pouch back and from her, and just kind of heads out of the place.
Phil kind of like follows him. He's like, "I'll walk with you, Father."
Oh, damn. Okay. He turns and says, and as you catch up, you see that these aren't the fat alligator tears that he was crying like last night. He has like real salty man tears that he's trying very hard to keep in his eye area. And as you approach, he quickly kind of wipes them away, and you see like a little bit of snot get sucked back up. And he says,
yeah, I'm sorry that you have to see me like this, and that you came all this way, and this is what you came and found.
It was not what I expected. So it's all true? Is it what that dragon did?
What? Yeah. What she did and what she kept doing. Your mother, Ophia, she was also taken.
And I will make her pay for what she's done to her and what she's done to you.
I have a feeling you will.
First, I must save Enora from her fate. Then I will seek out this Hexia.
he turns to you and he said,
I'm glad that the fates saw fit to spare you and deliver you to me. Thank you.
I'll do what I can to restore your honor.
Alright. And he said, like, as he goes to walk back to the palace, he says,
I am in no mood for celebration. Here, buy you and your fellowship some fine mead and wine and food. And he's just sort of thrust the coin purse at you.
I'll take it. Very well. I'll get back to them. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, so the coin purse has 150 drachmae in it.
Nice.
All right. So while all that was going on, Hypatia, can you go ahead and give me an investigation check? Wow. Even with exhaustion, your nerd powers are strong. A 23. You find out a great deal about these creatures, assuming you're willing to pay for the book. Are you willing to drop 5 gold on the book that you needed to get this information, since there was no public library? Okay.
Yeah, 5 gold's fine.
Okay. Let me see. I want to make sure I give you some pretty decent information here. I always spell basilisk wrong. There we go. There's even a picture in the book. You want to see the picture?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So you should be able to see it. I think I threw it up on the screen for you.
Yes.
Yeah, so a basilisk, is an 8-legged, a semi-aquatic reptilian monster. They prefer tropical climates when possible. They always like to live near water. They are very good predators. They will eat meat, but they prefer to eat stone that was meat. It is not their saliva that turns stone back to flesh. It is the acid in their stomach that does that. It is said that an exceptionally skilled hunter can gather the stomach lining from a basilisk, and if it is a good harvest check, they can have it basically boiled down into a salve that can cure petrification.
Okay.
Beyond that, there are not many methods known of removing the petrification that these creatures can cause, except for very powerful magic called Greater Restoration.
Okay.
Basilisks, they love basically getting the drop on creatures. They'll kind of swim up to them and then sort of like jump up and turn them to, like look at them and turn them to stone. It is a stone gaze. The range on the gaze is rather short, only about 30 feet. Some species of basilisk are extremely predatory, or not predatory, sorry, are extremely territorial. So if they see other basilisks, they basically try to like stare each other down and turn each other to stone. Because it turns out that some species are not immune to the petrification gaze of themselves or of others. However, the basilisks of this particular region of Thylea are pack hunters, and they have over the many years and generations, etc., developed an immunity to petrification, which allows them to live in essentially packs. Yeah, which definitely increases the danger quite a bit. Like lone basilisks, they basically have like a fighting fish mentality. So like if they see another basilisk, they're going to take him out, which allowed people to use like mirrors to basically preoccupy the basilisk. Like look at this other basilisk. Oh man. And they would actually just turn themselves to stone. Unfortunately, these Thylean basilisks have evolved over the years to be immune to their gaze and also be communal pack hunters. So they're bad news bears for sure.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
Their land speed is half of their swim speed, so they're very fast in the water, slower on land. However, they are extremely aggressive. If this was a Vigima game, they could use a bonus action to move towards prey, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But beyond that, they're not very complicated. Very stupid. Their only means of attack is a bite. They have a venomous bite, and they have a petrifying gaze.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. So well done on that.
I had a quick question.
Sure.
This has to do with the equipment. Could I pay you guys the cost for one of the studded leather sets of armor? What you would have gotten for it?
Oh, rather than have to
Instead
buy
of
fresh
having
stuff?
to pay the market price? Yeah.
Oh, that would make a lot of sense, I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yeah, because studded leather is 45 gold fresh. But if I just give you the 22 gold, that's much cheaper.
I mean, party treasure, that's cool, right?
I mean,
It
sure,
doesn't affect
but
the numbers. It's just I use my cut to pay for what you. had
Yeah,
got
that makes
from
sense.
Yeah.
It all comes out
Yeah.
in the wash. That's cool. All right. Time progresses. Do you guys meet up at the stone, essentially?
at sunset, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody have any other business they need to deal with before then?
Yeah, I mean, Phil would have taken everyone to get dinner off of his father's coin.
Okay, fair enough.
Nice.
Yeah. So you take them to like a real nice sort of tapas kind of situation where everybody like gets to order, but then everyone has to share their food, which is terrible. But I mean, that's, some people are into that kind of thing. And everything's super expensive. That being said, it's not cheesy potatoes, and it is very, very good. Like, this is some exceptional food. There is like sweet goat cheese stuffed dates. There's some kind of like fried asparagus with a cream sauce. All different types of like amazing dishes, and they just keep bringing them out and bringing them out and bringing them out. How baller are you going on dinner? Like, you willing to drop 50 gold on dinner? Like, really go nuts? Have some like super exotic foods and fancy flaming desserts and
Yeah,
finest
that's what
alcohol?
the-
Okay. All right.
that's what
So
the
yeah,
coin
mark
was
off
given to
50
him for.
gold, and you and your allies have probably one of the best meals that some of them have ever had. I mean, I'm sure Hypatia, and Alexi as nobles, this is all right, I guess. It's passable. So.
Well, no, I mean it's good. It's
Yeah.
I mean it's good food. It's food.
Yeah, it's
what I
obviously.
expect.
Yeah, it's what you want
Yeah.
every meal. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So then evening comes, and you guys are supposed to meet Kyra out at the Rock of Esther. So let me get that ready real quick, and you guys could sort of talk shop and what your plans are and all that jazz.
I guess I'll ask Hypatia if she found a magic vendor.
Oh, yes, I did. I suppose I should tell people about that. There's a magic shop in town. It's quite lovely. They have
Because we have a manticore tail we need to get changed into a whip.
Oh, right. Yes. They could probably do that. Honestly, I don't know. I didn't ask, but I'm sure they probably could. I also found a cool book about basilisks. I've definitely got some ideas.
And I'll compare notes with what I found out with what she found out to see.
Okay.
Just compare and see if either of us missed something the other one didn't know.
Yeah, sounds good. So I will assume that everybody is kind of caught up on what everybody else knows. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, I'd let them know I'm waiting on some more information specifically on these basilisks, where they may be, and anything special they might be able to tell us. But we'll only get that information in a few days, probably.
All right. So let me bring you guys over to this map, and then you can drag your minis in. If you need help dragging your minis in, just let me know. let me change out the music here because you're no longer at the festival. Let's see. We'll go back to the kind of cool music. There we go.
Does this seem to be the place where the sacrifice happens, right?
Yes, this is the Rock of Estor. So there's a stone where people get sacrificed. They have over time sort of built it up to be almost like a temple to make it a little bit nicer than just a rock in the middle of the river. So it's much more marketable that way. All right. Is everybody able to see for the most part?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. As you approach, Kyra is there, and she kind of comes rushing up at a normal rushing speed. And her face is badly swollen on the right side, and there's like a lot of gauze and stuff.
You get a teeth pulled out?
You guys made it. Okay. I'm ready. Ready.
And she reaches into her tiny backpack, and she pulls out her small book and quill, and gets ready to take notes.
You all right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
Was it a wisdom
All right.
tooth?
She kind of like motions at you to leave her the fuck alone. So, all right. The doors to the temple are open. Looking inside, you see that there is a beautiful nymph of probably the water persuasion that is sort of half in the water and half out of it. There are lovely priestesses who are sort of in the water and out of the water as well. And you do see more hoplites of Sydon sort of posted around, just because, you don't want the priestesses and the nymph to get hurt or anything. It seems that they have just got done chaining 3 lovely goats to the stone altar. All right. Are you guys trying to be subtle, or are you just sort of like rolling up on the scene like, hey, we just wanted to watch some goats get sacrificed because that's our right?
I mean,
That's
I guess
okay,
there's
yeah.
not like.
Oh
a-
yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
totally okay. It's just, as micro celebrities, I didn't know if you wanted to try to keep a low profile or.
Talus is going to try to be stealthy just in case.
Okay, fair enough. Talus, why don't you give me a perception check? Oh, very nice. You do see in the trees nearby are 3 harpies. And they seem to be watching everything with great interest. All right. The nymph kind of turns as you approach, and he says, oh, what do we have here? The chosen of the oracle. Come to watch the great sacrifice that is made daily to our Lord Sydon.
That we have, good sir. I hope we won't impede.
No, never. This is our diligence and Sydon's due, as was decreed centuries ago. As you can see, 3 fine sacrifices await. And the goats just sort of let out nervous bleats from the stone over there. All right. The guy just kind of chills in the water. The ladies do the same. Their robes kind of saturated, kind of absorbing the water. The night air is growing a little bit chillier, about like 65. This water is, straight out of the river that kind of flows past. The guards are all pulling that very stoic, like eternal watch kind of thing, where they're just sort of standing there with their spears and shields ready. Overall, it's super boring.
Yeah, when I want to attempt to like keep search to like see which way these basilisks come from and all that
Oh
good
yeah,
stuff.
totally. Okay.
I want to see if I can spot them in the water or whatnot when they finally show up and all that.
Well, from your current position, you're gonna kind of see what you see. So did you?
Gotcha.
Yeah. So you may want to either leave and head north or south along the river, or you may want to put a specialist in place, or I don't know, maybe if you had someone that could fly, or I don't know, stuff like that. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a familiar.
Yeah.
This
This
is-
would
I
be a
gotta
good.
s-
This would be a good Pokemon mission for sure.
Yeah, I'll have my Stimfay keeping watch. Looking for
Okay.
basilisks.
Is it okay for me to like go on over here?
I mean, the guards watch you as you approach, and they kind of nod at you.
Yeah, I
But-
just want to.
Yeah, none of them speak to you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. And so they just sort of trance out the two priestesses and the nymph, and they're kind of like floating in the water, murmuring prayers to Sydon. The goats are kind of bleeding. These guys are just sort of chilling, doing their thing. This goes on for hours. How long are you guys willing to wait? I mean, you're in it now. You're gonna stake this thing out all the way?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. The sun sets, night falls, and eventually, around like 9 p.m. or so, they start to sort of light the shrine so that everyone can still see what's going on. Small oil lamps and that sort of thing. And you do see that there is sort of a magical glow that once the sun sets sort of emanates from the stone itself. Just very dim light sort of coming off of it, as if it's a light in the darkness situation to beckon things to come near. Paratos. Go ahead and give me a perception check, or doesn't Stimfay just have like, I don't know, GPS mapping feature or whatever that is? Or does it still have to roll checks?
It's got keen sight, so it has advantage.
Okay.
On them.
All right, so go ahead and give me a perception check. You have
23.
advantage. Yeah, all right. You see that they are coming from the north, the basilisks. There are two of them coming. And they are very, very large.
As well, I would like to use my free cast of detect magic just to see if if the priestesses or the nymphs are doing anything, like casting any
Ooh,
kind
fair
of
enough, yeah.
spells. Yeah.
It seems that they are together performing sort of a ceremony ritual, but you don't feel that that really has any impact on the goats or the altar.
Okay.
You feel that it's more just a ritual of habit than they're not summoning or conjuring anything.
Okay.
Yeah, but good on you for checking that. All right. Eventually, you see them swimming like, I don't know, crazy Komodo dragons through the river. They are fast swimmers. Swim speed's probably about a 40. But they're definitely taking their time. And they just slowly make their way into the shrine area. the goats are getting more and more nervous. They sort of languidly circle the stone, and the goats are now going into like a frenzy of terror. As this happens, the priestesses are just kind of like convulsing and gibbering and praying. The nymph is, crying out in Sylvan prayers to Sydon and his strength and wisdom, abate the storm, calm the earth, blah, 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 blah. They continue to circle, and then finally they rise up out of the water, and one by one, the goats turn to stone. Once the goats are stoned, they swim up with incredible speed and begin to take bites out of the stone. Their teeth strong enough to break and crunch it. They each eat one of the goats, and then the third goat is grabbed in the mouth of the larger basilisk and taken with them as they slide back into the water and start making their way against the current of the river back towards the north. All right. So, their duty done. The priestesses and the nymph, kind of pack it all up, sort of thing, and begin to head out.
I want to approach the nymph before he goes.
And then you see 2 of the guards go with them to escort them. 4 of the guards remain. Oh yeah, you go to intercept the.
I wanna ask him some questions.
All right, he says, Philippocles, what do you wish to ask me?
About the sacrifices in the ceremony. Is it every night? Is it the same 2 basilisks that receive the honorable sacrifice?
He chuckles and he's like, "Oh, if it was the same basilisks, they would be very fat." And one of the priestesses kind of giggles about that because I guess it's funny. I don't know. You know how people, when they try to crack a joke about their job, and like only the other people that work there think it's funny. Yeah.
See, do they ever not come?
He says he kind of thinks about it. And he says, there have been a few times where the basilisks were waylaid or distracted, but inevitably something comes and finishes the sacrifice.
I see. So,
for example, if you look hard, you can see in the trees nearby harpies sent by his sister wife to watch and steward in the sacrifices.
Oh, I did not notice them. So if the basilisks,
brother and sister, husband and wife, Sydon and Lutheria have always looked out for each other and cared for each other.
Alexei mutters incest is best under his voice, I guess.
You seem very curious about these practices. Surely you have paid attention as you grew? You know that it is the responsibility of every city, even your precious Mitros, to make proper sacrifices. Each and every day.
Yes, that is true. It's just my first time seeing one in person. Quite curious.
Well, I am glad I could enlighten you.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Now, I will point out that nobody here matches the description you got of Gaius.
Oh, that was good. I forgot to ask that.
Yeah. So I don't know if you wanted to ask about that or just kind of investigate that through a different channel or what.
Yeah. I feel like he'd be pretty easy to find.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, so they're gonna roll out, sort of leaving you guys there. So now you have seen where the sacrifice happens. You've seen the sacrifice transpire. You have a general idea of where they come from. You've learned a lot about them. What next?
Well,
kill
it's
them.
pretty late now.
Oh yeah, you guys are so fucking tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we still
And
got
like a little.
9 days, 8 days.
No,
Yeah.
I want to know.
We'd probably moved on to hungover by now.
Yeah,
I want to know if
Like
that salve.
unpleasantly sober.
I want to know if that salve can be used preemptively to prevent petrification.
Okay.
I wonder if that's possible. I mean,
Is there
Maybe
So,
your
like,
fence will know.
So the bite is venomous. Is there some kind of anti-venom we could all take if we were to fight these beasts?
We could check the shops.
Yeah.
We should
So this
talk
is going to
about
be
this
sort of
somewhere
a
else.
well, right. I'm assuming this is a walk and
Yeah.
talk
Gotcha,
situation.
yeah.
Are you guys going to stay at the palace tonight? It would probably be very difficult with the festival going on to find anywhere to stay unless you did one of those rich person moves where you paid like triple and they kicked the people out and gave you their room sort of thing.
No, I'd go back to Palace.
No, yeah.
Okay.
I did want to have Paratos follow the basilisks back to their lair. I don't know if you saw me type that in chat.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
All right. I will say with Paratos doing that, go ahead and give me a stealth check with Paratos.
Because it's just a dex.
Hmm. Okay. So in order to avoid the harpies that start to follow him, Paratos does have to start sort of stealthing, and unfortunately, during that time when you're stealthing, you obviously can't move very fast because you have to stealth, wait till you're not being seen, move, stealth again. He does avoid the harpies and avoid being more than likely torn to pieces. But he follows them for a ways before he has to start hiding and does lose track. He does not actually get to witness them going into their lair tonight. But you do learn that the harpies apparently do in fact watch and monitor these sacrifices.
Yeah, and he does have an 80-foot fly speed, so he's a pretty fast little fucker.
Truth, yeah. So like worst case scenario, he would just fly away from them, kind of thing. But they definitely saw a metal bird, which is a little more unusual than a regular animal, and definitely kind of followed to investigate. Paratos, I don't think was obvious enough that they were like, he's following the basilisk kind of deal. Because once you realized he was being tailed, self-preservation sort of kicked in, and it was a stealth and evasion situation.
Gotcha.
All right. So, back at the palace, you guys still in for the night. You sleep. There are no dreams. you gain the benefits of a long rest, and you remove that exhaustion that you had suffered.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, that's good.
So, we obviously don't need to role play out every single day in Estoria. So let's just go and hit the highlights of the next day. So, what exactly do you want to try to take care of on the second day? Now that you're rested, now that you've kind of gotten a feel for the city, you have a fence, you have a magic shop, you are familiar with how we handle fantasy shopping, so like that can all be done through Discord. So is there any other stuff that you want to do as you begin heading towards this big sacrifice of Enora?
Only thing I want to do is try to go to that magic shop and see about how much it costs to get that whip made out of the manticore tail we had salvaged.
Okay. Hype.
I guess also
Interested in
selling
any
that
dexterity
hag
weapon.
stuff too. If you still wanted to sell that Philippocles.
Yeah, I got some hag hair and some hag blood.
Oh, see?
All right.
We do have lots of monster parts we could sell. Cause you got some good stuff from those manticores.
All right, hag stuff. Here we go. Off of the hag, you had vials of her blood. They sell for 3 gold pieces each. And you had her hair, right?
Yep.
Which also sells for 3 gold pieces.
And I also have her skull, but I want to
Okay.
I want to have the skull made into a mimir. When I
Okay.
can.
You're gonna hang on to the skull then?
Yep.
Okay, fair enough.
Why not ask this woman if she knows who could do that?
Yeah.
The
At that
Centaur lady.
suggestion, I'll ask her. Be like, yes, I have a skull of a hag. I understand it can be made into a mirror. Do you know where I could do that?
Yeah. So she looks at it. She says, "This particular specimen is pretty badly damaged, but assuming it could be repaired, let's see. This is a sea hag, isn't it? It wouldn't be overly powerful, but it could be enchanted to essentially know a skill, a knowledge skill, perhaps. The easiest enchantment would probably be nature or survival, perhaps religion.
How about history?
Sea hag, it could happen. It might not be the best. Cost-wise, again, if the skull could be repaired, looking at about 300 gold to have it enchanted.
Oh, well, I could.
An
pay for
item
that
with
right
such
now.
limitations would not draw upon your essence in any demanding way, which is her way of saying it would not take attunement to use the item.
Yeah, I don't know much about religion, but it seems like that would be useful. I could pay for that.
Oh, okay. So you'd like me to get someone on that and have it enchanted for you?
Yes, that'd be great.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you very much.
Hold on just a moment.
Guess we're gonna have a mimir.
Now, I will tell you that the mimirs made from hags are a bit nasty. Assuming I could find someone willing to do the enchantment work, I could have it done in 12 days.
I'll leave it to you then.
All right. And I do require the money up front. I won't be doing the enchantment myself, so I'll need the money to secure an enchanter for the work.
Yeah, I'll hand her the hex skull and 300 gold. 300 drachma.
And you're hoping for religion?
Yes.
All right. A pleasure doing business with you.
And with you. Thank you. And I'll also sell her the hair and the vials of blood for the...
Okay, fair enough. Now she tells you, if you happen to fight a night hag, those are much rarer, and their their parts, she kind of blushes a little bit, have substantially more powerful uses.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
Do you have a kit for the harvesting of ectoplasm and other spiritual essences?
I do not, but that sounds useful.
I mean, if you fancy yourself a collector of monster parts, that would certainly come in handy. I think I still have one in stock if you want me to go check.
Yes, how much would that be?
I am looking it up real quick. Let's see. A harvesting kit is 30 gold.
I will buy it.
Okay.
I much like taking trophies from my conquered foes.
Okay. And then she wants to know if you are interested in enchanted vials and spirit paper. Spirit paper is used to capture the essence left behind by elementals, fiends, outsiders, spooks, ghosts, that sort of thing.
If I can afford it, yes, I would be.
Okay. Every piece of spirit paper is 1 drachma, so 1 gold. And then the enchanted vials. So what an enchanted vial does is it sustains the magical properties of a monster's bodily fluids longer than normal. So often you'll hear like, oh, well, the acid glands stop working after a few hours, blah, blah, blah. These enchanted vials sort of keep that stuff going longer so that you can, get it to the right people before it does. You do need to use the enchanted vial within 1 minute of the death of the creature so that its magic, which is based on the spell Gentle Repose, can take effect. Enchanted vials are 3 gold pieces each.
Okay, I'll take 8 papers and 10 vials.
All right. Sounds good.
And what was the harvesting kit called?
It is literally called a harvesting kit. It does have a unique proficiency. Rangers automatically have proficiency in it. Outlanders can substitute their musical instrument proficiency for the harvesting kit instead. Honestly, I would say any of you, if you wanted to, if your character was kind of built around that idea, if you want to take one of your initial proficiencies from your background and swap it out for harvesting kit, you certainly can.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. And what harvesting kit does is it allows you to harvest all types of creatures instead of like me being like, this particular creature uses medicine check and this particular creature uses arcana check. And this allows you to say, well, I'm just going to use my harvesting kit proficiency instead. So, all right, cool. Let's see, and then you wanted to know about the whip. All right, so let me look that up real quick.
I'm also just selling manticore teeth and claws and stuff.
Oh, okay. So let's see. Basically, if you're providing this tail, it would allow the creation of a +1 whip at half the normal price. So 500 gold instead of 1,000 gold.
Sweet Jesus.
Yeah. So it would have the cost of creating a magical weapon out of the tail. Plus, it would look like a manticore tail, which would be super dope. If you were looking to have it further enchanted, it could be used to create a weapon of basically a dagger of venom that is a whip, which is kind of awesome. But a dagger of venom runs 2,500 gold.
Yeah, I got nowhere near that.
Yeah.
And do we have to worry about deterioration on this stuff, or? I mean, how valuable-
If you guys essentially preserve it using this new harvesting kit, that I guess you guys are both proficient in because you're a ranger and he's going to swap out a background for it, I'd say that it would be fine. Like if you guys just basically preserve it for later.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because I only got 300 gold, so.
Okay. I mean, you guys are only level 3, so, it's all good. All right, let me check out the manticore stuff, and then that'll be that. So let's see. The manticore teeth, they're cool and all, but in the
Not
end,
worth much.
there's not too much use for them. So they'd give you a gold for the teeth, or you could simply keep them and use them to decorate like leatherworking stuff that you make, or weave it into your clothes and stuff like that. Hand
use
them
it
out
for-
to hand them out to children. That
That's
kind
what I
of
was thinking.
thing. Yeah.
Give them to kids. They got the manticore teeth. I
Okay.
think you feel badass.
Now the tail, if you were to just sell it, you could probably get like 10 gold for it. But I mean, knowing that you can eventually turn into something really cool, you might want to hold on to it.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else that needs to transpire in town?
I would just be waiting a couple days before I go and check on information.
Eager to get his money, Linus does report back with the following news. He had some local scouts follow the basilisks. They were almost caught by harpies, but something distracted them and allowed his men to follow the basilisks back to their lair. It is underwater. So there is a spot north along the river, outside of the city limits, where they went underwater and did not resurface. But he does give you essentially directions on how to do that. He believes the entrance to the cave is located on the western side of the river, so the other side of the river from where Mitros currently is.
I see.
Or sorry, Estoria. Estoria currently is.
Yes.
He also informs you that they have a venomous bite, and you could take antitoxin for it. That would not make you immune. It would, in game terms, have the damage you took from it, and give you advantage on saving throws against like poison status, etc., etc.
What about something that would protect me from the petrification?
Yeah, so he takes his one piece of hair and he kind of smooths it out on his head, and he's like, that is a bit more complicated. There's certainly things that can be used, but they are very expensive. The same bomb that can be created to cure the petrification can be anointed to the body to protect it against the effects of petrification. But it is not foolproof. It would only give you a better chance of surviving it. The only true protection is to blindfold yourself.
I see.
But then you will be fighting these mighty beasts blind.
So, blindfold myself so that I would not be able to see it.
Correct.
With
If you
risk,
took if you took the anti-venom for the poison, and then a blindfold to protect your eyes, there would be no chance of petrification.
I see.
This has been told to me with great confidence by my agents.
Can they see in the dark?
The basilisks, yes.
Okay. All right.
If you were to try and fight them in their lair, it would be quite dangerous. I believe there are 4 to 6 of the creatures.
I see. Okay. If he doesn't have any more information, I'll give him the 120 gold.
All right. He is very happy. You see green pluses appear above his head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And where would I buy anti-venom or anti-toxin, anti-venom?
You could just buy it from, a place in town, from this guy. It's regular shopping stuff. It's actually not even magical. It's like an alchemical item.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure in this sitting. Okay. Yeah, all right.
Okay, so you guys kind of communicate this information with each other. Time is passing. Technically, there's downtime occurring. If you would like, for every day that nothing's happening actively in the game, that could be a day of downtime that you handle through Discord. It could be as simple as my character works on learning this new language, my character works on learning this new tool, or there's actual like tables you could roll on for researching or working a job or pit fighting or carousing. So there's lots of things that you could do during downtime.
Yeah, I want to get started on learning this poisoner's kit.
All right. All right. What about other stuff? Does anybody have other stuff that they plans that they want to do, or are you just gonna kind of wait down the clock? When do you feel
I think we wanted to
we
go
have-
and talk to Gaius and try diplomatic.
Ooh,
That's right. Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Okay. So you guys send word to Gaius that you guys would like to arrange a meeting with him. All right. Do you want to meet with him at the palace, or do you want to meet with him in like a neutral kind of area? Do you want to meet with him at the Rock of Estor? Like, where do you want to arrange this meeting?
Where he lives.
He does not live here. He is visiting.
Where he stays.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. All right. If that is the case, you guys will meet with him where he is staying. All right. Let me grab his notes real quick.
Actually, before that,
Sure.
if he's just staying in like an inn or something, so we're trying to establish guest friendship.
Oh, I
Would
gotcha. He he's actually staying at a military camp outside of the city because it's very crowded with the festival and all that. And his super awesome dragon, like they need a place to hunt and fly and stuff like that. And he brought all these super beefy centaurs with him, a couple of cyclopses, a bunch of troops. It's a big dick display, for sure.
Why don't we invite him to the palace then?
Okay.
So it's still, the guest friendship is still going on. It's just the other way around.
Okay, so you invite him to dinner at the palace?
Do you guys think that's a better idea?
Yeah.
I don't really want to invite this
it would be
man
fine
into my
for
father's
us.
dinner.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the best idea. Yeah, I don't know.
Because I don't think if we go to the military camp, it's going to count.
To count.
What do you mean?
Because we want the protection from guest friendship.
Well, then we need to be the guests.
That's more like a. It's
That's
a
for
bit
people who are
fluffier than that.
hostile to each other. I mean, I don't think we're hostile to him yet.
Yeah, well, but it's also a bit fluffier than that. It's like in the sense of like you have reached out to this person in peace to discuss, then it would be like incredibly rude of them to attack you. It doesn't so much matter where you are.
We also have essentially the prince of the frickin' city with us.
Right, but
So
want him to be
attacking him would be
involved.
in a bad
no,
taste.
not Philippocles. I meant Pythor.
I don't. I don't think he's technically a prince, but
Yeah, I'm not really looking for that.
Yeah, Philippines doesn't have any
I'm just
immunity.
saying in general, like, if he were to attack you in your dad's, be a bad,
true.
Yeah.
ill-advised. That's all
I
I'm
mean, I
saying. I'm
don't-
just trying to say, like, you have.
Also keep in mind that a lot of this oath stuff, like bad people are pretty good at evil genieing this stuff. So, for example, if a bad guy was like, "Hey, y'all, guest friendship, like, welcome," you have to do a number of things. You have to eat their food and drink their drink, right? And then as long as the meal is going on, as long as you're, a guest, they can't do anything about it. But like the moment you like walk over the threshold and leave, they could just kill you. It's not like oh, we had hamburgers and now you can never hurt me. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's
Poison your food, all that fun stuff.
Which is why it's safer for us to invite him to the palace.
I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think that would go well either.
Then we need
And-
to find another place because we shouldn't go to their military camp.
I don't think we can rely on the whole. I think what we're trying to say is you can't rely on the whole guest friendship. It's not gonna.
yeah.
It's not gonna secure us that much.
Yeah, but at least if we're not going to rely on it, then we can't talk in the military camp where we're surrounded. We find a neutral place like the Rock of Esther.
Do you expect our conversation to lead to combat?
We don't know. That's the problem. Because we don't know
Well-
how much he hates Hypatia.
We would need
And
to-
it
I don't
could very
think
well
it's-
turn.
I
It's-
don't. It's not like that. It's more like he doesn't want to kill me.
Well, I just want to be safe. So,
I mean, you did a couple days ago witness a living god king get basically like dirty dozened in his own city at a festival celebrating the soon-to-be death of his favorite daughter, and the dude did not smite the guy down. So there's definitely like social necessities at work here that are, keeping people from just outright murdering each other left and right for every little thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, like I think we would be fine to go.
I think so too.
I
to their
mean,
camp.
first of all,
Yeah.
this guy's a dragon lord, like, or,
He's got a
sort of.
reputation.
Yeah, like he rides around on a silver dragon. He's obviously a good guy. Look at him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good guy.
That's a harder sell than trying to tell people Gellin Primewater was a good guy. Jesus. All right. But wherever you guys feel comfortable, but if you're going to meet with them, I think you're going to have to extend the offer. Because remember, your Daddy Pythor, he's got those oxen. He really wants, that offer to be extended.
Was it
That's what you're working with, is those oxen.
Was it
Yeah.
100?
I believe it was 50. I'm going to double check.
Yeah, either 50 or 100. I can't
Tiny
remember which.
platform in the rock. I don't think that'll hold 50.
Yeah, I don't think it'll hold 50. Let alone
Well, the
100.
idea is that he could sacrifice for like 50 days.
Yeah,
He'd have.
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Or I'll stack them one upon each other
A great feat of strength.
and tie them with rope.
Ox stack. All right. Yeah. 50 oxen, each worth 100 drachmae.
Dang.
Okay. Well, we just need to figure out the location,
Which,
right?
when you think about the fact that a regular ox is only worth like, what, 3 drachmae? These are some quality ass, like, oxen.
We could
Big
invite him to that
beefy.
one very nice restaurant we had the other day, though. I must admit, I spent all of the money.
We could
mean-
sacrifice his dragon.
Let's just vote.
Maybe the basilisk will choke on the oxen.
And maybe they'll be so full they won't be fit to fight.
No, I think that it would be good to go to the military camp to see, well, especially to see it, like, what's there, like, what their strength is like. You know, if we do have to come to blows, what it would be like.
They have Cyclops and a Silver Dragon.
What's the worst that happens? 6 new characters. Start over.
Yeah, why don't we just vote? So Oath of Fellowship, I wrote down democracy, so we could just vote. So we're not doing this for half an hour.
Okay, so if you have an opinion on where to meet with Gaius, go ahead and type it into Roll20 chat. Okay, we got 1 for military camp. All right, we got Rock of Estor or fancy restaurant, which is called the Auspicious Date. All right, that's 2 votes for fancy restaurant, 2 votes for military camp. Uh-oh.
I'm gonna say restaurant.
3 for restaurant.
And I'll pay. Or I'll pitch in at least.
Okay. Is that anyone else gonna vote, or are we good? Closing it out?
That's good.
3, 2, 1. Okay, so you guys meet at the Auspicious Date. You should feel slightly more safe, because I don't have an ancient Greek restaurant map. So
I bet you will tomorrow.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm Googling it right now.
Let's resolve this in 10 minutes.
All right, let's do speed diplomacy. So Gaius lands in the square on his dragon.
Wow.
It's super dope. He slides out of the saddle, gives it an affectionate kind of lingering pat on its flank, and it nuzzles him. He then turns, and as he does, his half cloak just kind of, right? Rather than the red of the rank and file Sydonites, sounds weird. He has a blue cloak with a red eye, and he's definitely wearing his Sydon pride. As he approaches, you do see that he is flanked by some guards who got here before he did and waited for his cool helicopter entrance. So he's got some hoplites of Sydon. As he approaches, he looks at all of you, and as soon as he sees... wait, I gotta ask. Are you guys waiting outside the restaurant, or did you guys get there early and get like a private room, and he's got to come into the room before he sees everybody?
Private room.
Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I think private room.
So
Yeah,
you guys see his dramatic ending through, I guess, familiar spy cams.
Yeah.
Window.
Okay. Fair enough. As he walks into the room and he sees Hypatia, he just stops breathing for a second. You.
You?
I had heard the pathetic songs, but I thought it was another.
What? Why would you think that? Do you think I'm not good enough?
Word.
I was told that this meeting was to discuss a profitable religious donation to the faith of Sydon in place of the prophesized sacrifice of the Princess Honora.
That it is.
That's true.
So
Come break bread with us.
this isn't some sad attempt to win back my affections? Because the insult you laid upon me cannot be taken back.
Like every snake on her head rolls its eyes. But
Inside
Hypatia,
the hood? Inside the hood?
like a few probably would have peeked out to like hiss at him a little
Oh,
bit.
man.
Yeah, like it's not.
His face contorts in disgust, and he says, well, at least you've learned that there's consequences for your actions, though now you're shielded by prophecy.
It's just like there's like waves of anger.
Let's discuss what we came here to discuss.
Let's, after we break bread.
Of course.
Indeed.
All right. He sits down. You guys break bread. You drink some wine. You order some tapas food. Got pretty good taste of food, I'll be honest. Favors the seafood.
Yeah, but Phil tries to like butter him up, talk to him about like, man, you look awfully strong, and talk about his dragon.
Okay. When you start talking about his dragon, he does warm up a little bit when you talk about his dragon. So,
Does he have a name?
What's the dragon
She
Does she have a name?
is absolutely splendid, isn't she? And you
Yeah,
see
he
him kind of look out the window, and he's got like maybe like heart bubbles like floating around. You're not 100% sure, but
And at the mention of the dragon, Hypatia would be like, "Oh, that reminds me. That joke I made. It was a joke. Look, it wasn't that big of a deal. You didn't have to take it so personally."
How old is your dragon?
you see the bridge of diplomacy. You see tiny flaming snakes crawling all over it.
Yeah, I'm chiming in front of cutting her off. Yeah. How old is your dragon?
Argon is well over a century old.
Impressive.
I guess it'd be Argine. Okay, Argine is well over a century old. And she is absolutely the most incredible thing the gods ever saw fit to make.
Would you mind telling us how you came to meet Argon?
Did you just Freudian slip on this dude? Did you just ask him to tell you how he mated with his dragon?
No, meets.
Oh, okay. Because I could have sworn I heard something else.
She's been drinking some wine.
All right. There's a slight pause as he makes sure he heard what you said correctly. Go ahead, reset, and give me a persuasion check. You do have advantage because it was buttered up a little bit by, oh, you so strong. Yeah, I think he mishears you a little bit, and he kind of like wrinkles up his nose, and he's like, I won't discuss military secrets with an Arisian.
Well, that's rude.
So, what is the offer that you lay before me? What could possibly dissuade Sydon from following through on this prophesized sacrifice?
We have 50 of Estoria's finest oxen, marketed at maybe 100 drachmae per. It would be quite
you hear a
marvelous.
low whistle from one of the guards standing by the door, and then he kind of like looks over at him, and the guard kind of like just stares forward. You would trade livestock for a princess? Do you not see the problem that causes?
Merely the openings of negotiations.
Oh.
And Hypatia would be like, "You treated me like livestock."
Yeah,
Yo, can you chill? Can you relax?
He makes a sourpuss face, and he says, "Arranged marriages are a long-standing tradition amongst nobles. You were no more livestock than I was."
Snort.
I'm
I think
gonna,
we're all very familiar with how nobles operate.
I'm gonna try to ask Hypatia to join me outside to help me with some maintenance to my Stimfey.
Yeah. I'll say something about how nice it would be to get some fresh air. There's not really enough oxygen in this room.
Well, be mindful of your new pets. Not everyone is as respectful of your new position as I am.
I ignore him, and a snake looks back and sticks his tongue out.
All right.
And then I put my hood back on.
He watches her go, and you could see there's some meanness in this man. And he looks at all of you, and he says, "Why would the chosen of the Oracle, who have been given 3 great and mighty tasks, be sitting around Estoria when they could be out living and fulfilling their prophecy? What is this princess to you that you feel compelled to part with whatever strange fortune you have? In this case, 5,000 drachmae worth of ox."
I mean, we're just here to fill the deeds requested upon us.
But if I recall the bard's great song, there was no mention of saving a princess from a fate she willingly accepted. I have spoken to Princess Sonora, and she knows what a great honor it is to give her life to protect Estoria. She knows that Sydon's wrath, should the sacrifice not be carried out, would bring ruin to this kingdom. Floods, and then droughts, and then more floods, earthquakes, storms.
Listen,
You would
man,
deny this woman her destiny?
tell me what you want. Let me help you get what you want. Let's move beyond it.
The Princess of Estoria, favored child, and he uses the word child, kind of like meh, kind of, of the god king Pythor. That's quite a sacrifice. I would say that 50 oxen doesn't even come close. You know what does come close, though? The 6 chosen of the Oracle. Would you, brave heroes, be willing to take her place?
Then what will
Because
come when I slay the basilisks that come to me, as I stand upon the rock of Estor?
if he was an anime lady, he would let out an oh ho ho laugh at that ridiculous comment. He says, I don't think that would happen.
Then put me and my fellowship on the rock in her place. We'll see what comes.
He slams a fist down and says, "Do you swear an oath to the gods and to me that you will take Princess Honora's place on that stone on that night?"
I do.
You guys feel the oath
Did you
of
just sign all of us?
You guys feel
He
you feel
did.
the magic of the Oath of Fellowship kick in as you are all bound by this oath.
And Hypatia's gonna wander back in the room.
I would like to say to
Like-
Gaius.
Excuse me, what just happened?
Well, it seems, my old friend, you are once again livestock, for you have been traded.
If these basilisks were never to achieve their due, attempting to consume us, take us back to Sydon, what would then happen?
He kind of like makes like a bored expression. If you survive the night, then obviously the fates saw fit to spare you from Sidon's wrath.
Forget all this Sidon's wrath crap. This is just a dick move, is what this is. It started with a dick move to try and get Pythor to sacrifice his daughter and make him all mad and break your truce so that you could have your little war that you want. And now
I will thank him for the opportunity to.
He flashes a vicious smile at you, Hypatia, and he says, "The full moon can't come soon enough. I'll personally chain you to that rock."
I'm fucking doomed.
Um,
I'm doomed.
I'm gonna march Hypatia out so she doesn't say anything else.
Well, I won't be staying for desserts or drinks, but it was a pleasure doing business with you.
Indeed.
Right. And he stands and he twirls his little half cloak, and he walks out of the room.
Safe travels. As he
All right.
leaves, yeah.
Okay. There you go. Solutions.
As soon as what's his face is out of here, I'm gonna smack Philippocles.
You close the door, and then the shouting starts.
Why are you mad at me? We were gonna fight them anyways.
That
Now
doesn't
we'll
mean
put on
we
a
should
show for the
sacrifice
city.
our.
It's supposed to be
I have no-
discussed.
I have no intention to be sacrificed. I will break whatever chains they chain me to, and I will kill them.
And what of our weapons?
We'll hide them on the rock beforehand.
It's a rock.
Would
It's a
would
flat rock.
would they? Can I insight? Like, would we be able to like have our weapons with us?
There's a knock at the door. Hey, am I late? Did I miss the negotiations?
Your nephew's
Yeah,
getting us
Your
all killed.
nephew.
Can I come in? The door's locked.
Someone let her in.
Come in.
Okay.
Yeah, let her in.
Why does everybody look so mad at Phil?
Uh,
You have
I
the
don't know.
look. You have the look that I usually have when I'm looking at his dad.
Your nephew unilaterally decided
s-
to make us the sacrifices.
Oh, and then the Oath of Fellowship kicked in. Yeah, you guys gotta get more in sync. You know what I'm saying?
We gotta not let the barbarian do the negotiating. How about
We
that?
gotta not let the wizard do it either.
She's my sister, and Hypatia, you did not help. You could not keep your. I don't even know why we brought you.
I was right, though, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you were snippy, and you just made him not want to talk to us.
Facts
But I
don't
was
make for
right.
good negotiations.
But I was right.
Okay, you were right. But it didn't help.
We should have
us.
left it to Anastasia.
I thought I did a fine job. We only had one option, and I took it.
The bridge of
No,
diplomacy
we had many
burned
options. You
away
decided for us.
instantly.
Okay.
If you
Okay.
make a habit of this, I will break this fellowship.
So chained to a rock with no weapons, because you're gonna be garbed up in like sacrificial robes and stuff. You're gonna take out these basilisks.
Pledge.
Well, we don't really have a choice now, do we?
All right.
I mean, We also have pets.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe they can bring us things.
All right.
I-
I just want you to know, if I cast Greater Restoration on you after the fact, that fulfills my oath of protection.
Okay.
I will
Okay.
be blindfolded. I will not need no.
She like
Restoration.
flips through her book and she's like, so I still got to save Hypatia, Philippocles, and Talus. The rest of you, you'll owe me. Just saying.
If we tie our weapons and place them in the water, I can dive down and get them.
Oh, that's pretty smart.
I don't have to breathe.
My
And my
book is
stimfay
not waterproof.
Mm.
my stimfay cannot be turned to stone. It is immutable.
So you're just gonna have your parrot thing just like tank them? Is that the plan?
Technically, it could. Harpies would be the biggest challenge.
Sure, sure.
I could.
What do you mean harpies? Harpies can't jump in, can they?
I imagine
Alexi.
they would.
Oh, I get it.
I-
If you fought back, they'd probably be like, "Oh, there's 6 of them and only X amount of basilisks," and then they'd feel obligated to like even it up.
Well,
Gotcha.
the priest yesterday even told us that the harpies are there to ensure that even if the basilisks do not take the sacrifices.
Wow, you guys really did your homework. All right. Well, I mean, you were gonna go wipe out all the basilisks anyways beforehand, right? Like to save Enora. Like, I mean, that's
On
not
our
like you,
terms.
well, it's not like you can't do that still, right?
Well, I mean, in all in all, even if we did just kill the basilisk, I suppose that wouldn't stop Sidon's wrath from attempting to secure her some other way. So, if this
Again, I mean, you know, I can tell you this as a god. You know, we're very busy, so a lot of times we just sort of like, you know, you delegate. Like this is on Gaius now. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
so if you guys bamboozle Gaius, that's Gaius's problem. Like Gaius has egg on the face at that point.
Wait, let's just kill him.
Whoa. Well,
No, then we'd be breaking the oath.
Okay, true.
We
yeah.
need murder. We'll just
Yeah.
stand upon the rock and kill whatever comes at us.
okay.
Alexi, you might need to bring some of your lockpicks. Hide them somewhere. Safe? Because we'll be chained up, right?
Oh yeah. Like you saw the goats, right? They were chained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll be naked. I think you at least get some like form-fitting robes that like absorb water and they cling to your body dramatically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it seems difficult, are there usually guards there at the sacrifice? What was the rock of what is it?
I mean, it's a religious site, so they usually have guards, you know, watching it. I mean, most people wouldn't be stupid enough to mess with a religious site because, you know, you'd be like cursed by the gods or whatever. But
yeah. So I will just pay somebody through my
Mhm.
fence to stash our weapons.
oh, well, these all sound like super good ideas.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it over the week.
All right.
Yeah.
So I think we will, unless you guys come up with another plan, when we pick up next week, we will pick up at the night of the full moon, and you guys will have major plans over Discord. If you come up with something else that you need to do that would take place in game, we'll do that instead. But then that would also give you guys some downtime as well, which we can handle in Discord. So if there's things you wanted to do with that downtime, you could certainly do it. Sort of like, you know, I tell you, if you don't know what to do in combat, take a dodge action. If you don't know what to do with your downtime, just say that you're like learning a new tool or a language. Because eventually, with enough downtime, you will learn that new tool or that new language. So just gonna keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So I'm actually not going to be here next week,
Oh,
or
no.
at least for a goodly portion of the session. I'm going to a thing. The thing is at 7:30.
Do you trust anyone to play your character, or do you want me to NPC her?
I assumed that we would talk strategy
Okay, yeah,
and
yeah, okay.
strategy, and then
Fair enough.
whoever feels up to it can take my part. I'll
right.
I'll probably show up before we end the session, but probably
Okay.
like 11 reasonably.
All right. I'm going to take us back to the start page, and I'm going to log us out for the night because we are at or over time a little bit, and some peeps have to go to work in the morning, like me. So good job. A lot of lore, a lot of role playing, a lot of research that's going to hopefully set you guys up for success. Some fantasy shopping. I don't know, pretty full session. So we will continue this next week, and I guess talk it out in strategy on Discord, and be ready because there's going to be, it's one way or another. You're probably going to have to fight some basilisks next week. All right. Night, everybody.
Night.
Good night.
Yeah. Good night, buddy.
I understand if you're mad at me.